Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one Chief Rock and Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezie. I'm joined by I know basketball man, Dre. Dre,
What's
what's
up?
good, boss?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Waiting for the chatters to come in.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Oh, they'll be here. I'm not
I know
I'm
you do
not
the same with that.
yeah, man. I did real quick before things get off the rails. I did want to continue along a course of conversation that included a comparison of OG Ananobi and Jimmy Butler,
Right.
right? And here's the reason why. I feel like Jimmy Butler and his earlier, say, first four seasons is a better playmaker than OG Ananobi, but OG Ananobi started out initially as a better, or maybe not. Let me not overstate it. Basically, they both started out in the dirt as playmakers, and then in one season, Jimmy Butler turned it on like that. So Jimmy Butler went from like 14% to where is it? He went from like from like a 14% assist percentage to like 21.8, right? And then after that, it was 24.3, and then so on from there, based on what he was asked to do on certain teams,
Right.
right? His first year in or his second year in Miami, his assist percentage was 34.5.
It's a spike.
Ultimately, what I'm getting at is I feel the assist percentage part of one's game can be learned, but you can't learn how to be 6'7", 232. You feel me? Right. So you can probably become a good defender, right? You could probably become a good defender, right? But that is not innate to every player, just like the assist percentages. And so basically what I'm getting at is I think the comp to Jimmy Butler is closer than what people will think RJ Barrett is or will ever be to Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
How that impacts the Knicks, right? All right. So how that impacts the Knicks is this. You and I just talked about a few moments ago about how in switches, Quentin Grimes gets switched on to Giannis, Pascal Siakam, Luka Doncic, and those guys. In the rotations that I'm talking about, the switch would be a pass along from RJ Barrett to OG Ananobi on Pascal Siakam's.
Right.
You feel me? The thing is even though Grimes is bro. Have you seen Grimes in person yet? Like up close?
I saw him last year, but he was on the bench. He wasn't playing at that time.
So he's in street clothes. Oh, okay. So you can't tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only when he gets next to other people in the huddle, but he was in like the Knicks sweats, So
Right, right. What I'm getting is Grimes is not a small man. He's just short for an NBA player.
yeah, especially for the guys that Tibbs wants him to guard.
Yeah, especially for what Tibbs wants him to do. Right? Grimes looks like about 6'4", about 220, something like that to me. Bro, I saw him run by Jonathan Isaac and almost knock Jonathan Isaac into next week, bro. Grimes is a short, stout, stocky, tough, well-built man. Pause, right? But my thing is when you have so many people, when you have so many people in your rotation like that, at what point does it become a disadvantage?
Or you have
Right?
so many people that do the same things. There's a redundancy.
Right. Even
Well, it, Well, there's a redundancy in terms of switchability because if you have a bunch of 6'8", 6'9" guys, then you end up looking like a crew of pests like the Raptors. And even
Right,
to the Raptors' fault, they're victims of that too because a lot of the guys can't do the things that smaller guards can do,
right,
and vice versa. You need diversity in your lineup.
right, right, right. What I'm getting at ultimately, man, is I don't see a downside to an acquisition of OG Ananobi. The asking price for the Raptors are asking is ridiculous, but like a lot of us mentioned it in the chat, man. If the and like I mentioned, I've been saying it all year. I'm saying it right now. Like I am apathetic to whatever the Knicks do. I'm still gonna go to games. I'm still gonna root for them. All of that stuff. But if they do an OG Ananobi deal, I think I can get excited for it. Right? If they don't do an OG Ananobi deal, I don't care. I'm apathetic after the Donovan Mitchell thing.
It's
I
like
just can't figure out what direction this team is going. To be honest with you,
it just looks like they're really biding their time,
right,
hoping a disgruntled superstar like pops his head out in the summer,
right,
which for all intents and purposes is possible in
right.
this era of the NBA. One or two might slip and want to be gone.
All
So
right,
I mean, it, it's a tough thing to bet against or lean into, but that's the only way we're going to end up consolidating the sum of good but not great players together. You know?
all right. Hey, so Smoke, I'm gonna send the link, but I'm not at home. I'm not in Studio G. So if things get weird, then like if this audio and all of that stuff, man, just make sure you come in a game. Make sure we come in on a jazz picks after Rush. Blah blah blah. Okay. I was looking at your thing too, Dre. The link that you sent me,
Yeah,
that's impressive, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
The only thing that changed a bit of the context is volume and
right,
like who he's going against.
right,
But it shows that sometimes the eye test doesn't necessarily match up with the numbers. I think it's
right,
a little bit in between. RJ is so polarizing. When he looks bad, he looks absolutely horrible.
right,
And when he looks good, it just looks passable. Just okay.
right. And and to your point, as fans, we are conditioned to notice two true outcomes, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Anything in the middle, we don't notice it, right? We don't have time because the game moves too fast, right? Like we only notice a defensive stop or a series of defensive stops when the other team needs a shot. You know what I'm saying? Or we notice every made basket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
It,
so
it's certain instances put more expectations or make things look worse than what it is.
right,
If you
right. Even though it's a stable outcome each time, a missed shot is a missed shot. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
yeah, man. So hey, so how are you feeling about this team going forward? Do you feel like there is a need to be made?
Uh, yeah. I'm like I was watching a little bit earlier. Josh Richardson, granted, the Spurs aren't a very good basketball team. But there are certain things in his skill set and the size that is needed off the bench on this particular team, and I would wholeheartedly take that. What is Josh Richardson? 6'6", 6'5", somewhere around there.
Six, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So for this switching defense that we attempt to run, I think a guy like that in the six, like if we were to get Alec Burke, ironically, Alec Burks would probably fit a need on this team, but we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole again. It would make no sense, but he would fit a need or fill a void on this team that's sorely missed.
Right.
I don't think the major move is going to come, but I think someone like that is kind of necessary. At least if we're going to like go for a playoff run and try to win a round or something like that.
Okay. Okay.
You want me to drop the link in the chat for
No.
looking? Oh, are you gonna
No.
send it to him?
I sent it to him. Yeah, I sent it to him on Twitter. I can't. The thing about it is y'all. I just can't have. I'm using my phone, and so I can't.
Yeah, you're
Um,
doing multiple things at once. It takes a little bit longer.
yeah, and I can't have a bunch of people in the virtual chat when I'm on my phone because it destroys. Um, um, it destroys my feed, so I'm not able to do anything. And sometimes I'll get booted out of the chat, and then the thing will be up by itself, and I can't get back in. Nah, hey, smoking Nick, hey, I sent it to you on Twitter. So, okay, all right, but whatever. Okay, all right. But yeah, man. The only thing I would be upset with if the only thing that would rock the boat for me is a drastic and unusually thirsty overpay for a non-difference maker.
Right.
You feel me? Like, what would get me upset is three unprotected firsts for Tobias Harris.
Oh,
That would make
don't
me,
don't
bro.
don't put that energy out in the world, man. You
Bro,
give
something
somebody a
like,
heart attack reading this chat, man. Don't do that.
yeah, something like that will have me. You know what I'm saying? But if they make the move for OG Ananobi, I mean, I don't care. I could see it. I can justify it. I could live with it. You know what I'm saying? I can live with the move. I like OG as a player, but I'm not talking about the player at this point. I'm talking about the
It's the
purchasing
principle.
price.
The
Yeah.
principle.
It's like, yeah, like what are we forking over? You know what I'm saying? And even in those protected picks, I would love for them to be spread out over years. Like each is every other year or so, something like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those in the protected pick kind of.
I mean,
I
that's
don't. I
that's
don't.
that's a given. That's the Stipien rule. You can't give out multiple picks in back-to-back years. You have to do every other year, regardless.
Yes, you can.
You sure?
Yeah, yeah. The Ted Stepien rule is that you can't give up your own unprotected
Oh,
picks.
your own. Yeah, right. I'm thinking about your own, but I thought you were
Right.
talking about your own picks because
Yeah.
because those are the
You.
most valuable picks. And I was like, that's what the Raptors want for OG. They don't want other people's pick. They don't want those protected joints. They want them. They want them
Right. They want the Knicks
unprotected. That's what
picks.
they want. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you can. It's like Oklahoma City has an abundance of picks. They can give up other teams' picks back to back years, two in the same draft if they want to. You know what I'm saying? But it's their picks, and it was created because Ted Stepien, who um who ran the Cavaliers before the Gunn family got there, um was trading all of their picks, so much so that he was about to ruin the franchise and move them to Toronto to become the Toronto Huskies. And
Right.
so the NBA the NBA put a rule in place to stop him from trading those picks like that, and gave Cleveland a pick back. They gave him a free first round pick in order to keep the franchise stable, because in the early 80s, Ted Stepien was about to ruin the Cleveland Cavaliers. So yeah, man. Smoke was good, bro.
What's up,
Salute, man.
Smoke?
How y'all doing, man?
Good, man.
I'm
Good, man.
wonderful.
Chilling,
Hey,
bro.
man. Hey, just be patient with me, bro. I'm away. I'm away from the studio, so
Yeah.
things is just kind of crazy. So
No, it's all good, man. You giving us the content. You staying dedicated and focused. So respect enough to that, man. How your setup is. You coming? the way you need to come right now. It is what it is.
Yeah, man. Look at this. I even bought the light with me, bro.
You bought the
I,
quick old light. I got mine
yeah,
right here too. Hold on.
yeah. I got the light.
You know
I
how
got
that
the
goes. Hold on, you can see I got
microphone.
mine right here too. So you know
See
how
how,
that goes.
yeah, see how I got the mic, all that set up, man. It's crazy. Yeah,
So
man.
so you brought all of that. So why you on your phone?
Because the Wi-Fi here is unstable.
Oh no, where you at? I mean,
Orlando.
like locale, like state.
Yeah, I'm in Orlando.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
So
I was
yeah.
at the game. I was at the game yesterday,
No,
man. You know.
I know you was, but so the Wi-Fi out there, they ain't got like no fiber optics or nothing like that.
Nah, man. Nah. And then plus I didn't bring my work laptop.
Yeah.
I brought my creative laptop. Like I do writing, I write and all that stuff too. I bought that one, and listen, it's just not working.
No, I
The setup
understand.
ain't
I
right.
understand clearly, man.
Yeah,
You use
the
too
setup
much
ain't right.
space on the laptop and start running slower every day. It just it turns on and runs slower. So I understand
Yeah,
completely.
and
Real talk.
the funny thing about it is the Wi-Fi flickers on and off on this laptop. I'm watching it. The meter at the bottom, how would it go
Yeah,
up to show you? It's doing
yeah.
like this the whole time.
And depending on how many people on that Wi-Fi network, just depends
Yeah,
on what they watching, what they doing, if they gaming. You know, it's a whole
it's a
bunch of
whole different.
How
Yeah,
much bandwidth
yeah,
is being pulled
yeah,
real
at the
talk.
same time?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a whole different rabbit
yeah,
hole to dive down. But I'm on
yeah.
edge like everybody else. Just to stick to the subject that y'all was talking about, I want to see what's about to happen, man. I honestly think that I don't think we're gonna do anything. So when we don't do anything, I'm not disappointed. You know what I mean? But if we do something, I will be surprised. I just hope it ain't one of them like garbage moves. Like, occasionally you name those people where we get these dudes and you be like, the Knicks made these trades, and then you name a bunch of ham sandwiches, as you like to
Right,
call them,
right,
that
right.
we've traded for. Like, who's the one dude? Denzel Valentine, just for one example, right? I remember we had
Solomon
that.
Hill.
I'm gonna tell you the names. I'll tell you the names. We traded for
I like
since
Colin
Leon
Quinn though.
Rose.
Colin Quinn actually played for us, but Denzel Valentine, that was just.
I'm gonna give you some names, Smoking Nick.
Go ahead,
Since
go
Leon
ahead, go
Rose
ahead.
is traded, Derrick Rose,
Yep,
Cam Reddish, Solomon Hill,
Oh
Terrence
God.
Ferguson,
yep,
Vincent Poirier, and
yep.
Denzel Valentine.
And Denzel
Those are the
Valentine.
moves he
So
makes.
you said, so only two of those players out of six of those players has actually played for us. So that means they just making face. So I gotta hold the front office accountable right now because I haven't been jumping on their back the last 3 years. But if you see that we in the running right now, and this is the first year of having Brunson and trying to acclimate him and all stuff like that, you know
Right.
what I mean? I think you should make a move just to give him confidence, give Julius confidence that we still trying to tread and continue in the same direction, so to speak.
Yep. Yeah. And I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. I was excited about the Terrence Ferguson deal because he looked like a young, bouncy wing defender in OKC.
Okay, so, I agree with you, Freeze.
Yeah,
I agree. He
yeah,
had
and
that athleticism.
yeah, and he was the only thing about it is he is a zero offense player. But you know what? We already have a lot of zero offense players. Jay Boogie in the building. Jay Boogie, thank you for the generous contribution. Jay Boogie says, if we go and get Josh Hart and Josh Richardson to go with IQ would strap the bench up. Plus Mitch coming back. Shout out to Villanova retiring JB's jersey. Yep, shout out to them for that. Yeah, man. Hey, you go get both Joshes. It gives you a unique depth. Doesn't give you high ceiling, but it gives you a unique depth piece and flexibility where you can start now to do a whole lot of things defensively. Offensively, basically, it's the same as it ever was.
I'm inclined to agree. Yeah, I would like some
Yeah,
moves like
I
that.
didn't have a disagreement there either.
Yeah.
So I don't just disagree to disagree, contrary to the popular belief, you know.
Oh, so you're not like Neff?
Not
Yo,
not
Shout
not,
out to
Ne-
Neff.
not Nev the Destroyer. The first words I learned was not I
yo,
disagree.
let me say, hey, yo, hey, Woj just said the Knicks are trading for Josh Hart. So if Woj say it, it's official.
Hold on,
Who
don't.
they give up? Hold on,
That's actually a
I'm about to
come
go
up.
up.
That's a
Who
come
gave
up
up?
though.
Yeah, I
The
can't put it
Trailblazers
on
are
the
trading Josh
screen.
Hart
I'm
to
gonna
the
check. No,
Knicks.
don't check. Don't trip, Freezy. I got you, and he got you too. So we got you.
Yeah,
I'm on my
I'm looking
laptop
at it
right
right
now.
now. I'm
yeah,
about to
I'm
see
looking
for
at it.
what though.
Yeah, man. Yo, that's interesting.
That's a come up.
Yeah, man.
I think Josh Hart starts immediately, doesn't he?
Yeah, he
Nah,
starts over
nah. Come
Grimes.
on, bro. You're going way too far.
You got to ask the questions, man.
Who we starting over? RJ?
Nah, he's starting over Grimes,
You
bro.
know, Tibbs
Nah,
is all
nah.
about seniority, man. He
All
will
right,
not bench RJ.
that's a good one. That's a good one. He might start over Grimes. He might.
Yeah, man.
But Tibbs love Grimes though.
Also, he
Is
CAA and
Josh
he
Hart
is
coming with that
One
same
of
defensive
Brunson's friends.
intensity? I'm not trying to cut you off.
He's
I'm
from
sorry. I
Villanova,
just want
man.
to know: is Josh Hart coming with that same Grimes defensive intensity to where Thibodeau has undoubtedly have to start him? That's all I'm
come on,
asking.
bro. Come on, bro. Smoke, don't do that. Did
What?
They
Grimes?
brought him
Is
here.
Grimes?
They
Yo, because Josh Hart is what Grimes want to be. You when Grimes go to sleep at night, he pray to be Josh Hart, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Josh Hart won a championship with
I would go to
Brunson, by the
sleep.
way.
Yeah,
Also,
yeah,
Archie Diacono is here. CAA connections as well.
yeah. Connections as well.
I
So
think
we not doing Kentucky anymore. All of a sudden, we doing Villanova now. That's how we doing.
No, I would take
yeah,
Josh
that's
Hart.
what it's
Josh
looking
Hart
like.
would be a come up. That would be a come up, though. I ain't gonna lie. He's like the OG and the Gary Trent tweener. So he in between both of those players, right?
Yeah.
I feel like
I don't see what
I
the
don't know
trade
why, but I
details
think
are.
Obi Toppin got traded. I
Is
feel
it
like
true
Obi
or
Toppin
is it
got traded.
not?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know what we're getting at yet.
It don't say it's true. Freezy, you said Woj.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Woj
you know,
said the trade, but he didn't say for what yet.
he
What's
said the
in it?
particulars. We don't know what the
I follow
particulars are
Woj.
yet.
So let me look it up on Twitter.
Okay, Hartenstein and Reddish to the Blazers.
We traded Hardenstein.
Is that what? That's
Damn.
what.
I haven't
Wow.
seen it yet. I haven't seen
It
for what
says
yet.
the Trailblazers are trading Josh Hart to the Knicks. Sources tell ESPN. That's all it says.
Let me look
Yeah,
at
man. We'll
Shams.
get the
Let me check
particulars.
Shams.
Why would we trade Hartenstein when we need him right now?
Hey, man.
I'm not
Portland needs
saying
them.
that I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying, why would we? Like, when does Mitch?
I would say this to you, Smoke, just real quick, man. That is how we operate, bro. The 2-for-1 to clear a roster
Jonathan
spot.
Oh yeah,
Macri
nah, you're right.
Macri said Jake Fisher, who did not report this as solid information, heard from someone in maybe Hartenstein and Reddish.
Yeah,
So
that's what I
we don't
saw too.
know yet. We don't know yet.
Hartenstein and Reddish.
I think that's. I like Sims, so I'm not going to hate on Sims. Sims need more work, but
Right.
Zay be putting that effort, that
Oh
energy,
wow.
man.
The Knicks are trading Cam Reddish and a projected future first round pick, protected future first round for Josh Hart.
That's easy.
Wow.
Projected
But
what?
it depends on the
Projected win.
protections for me. But let
Wow.
me see Josh Hart's contract. Cam Reddish in the first.
He's a free agent
Sound like
after the season, bro.
Bro, we been knew we was going to have to trade Cam for a first.
so it has to be like a heavily protected first. But even then,
It's got to be smothered. You think it's a smothered pick?
it's probably like some silly like top 20 protected, and then the next year is some of the protections are gonna be reduced to like top 14, and then top
Yeah.
10, something like that. because you can't just give up a
Does
first
it
like that
matter?
without
We're getting
protecting
a
it
player
for.
that produces for a player that don't produce.
Yeah, I'm talking long term because he's going to be
How old is
unrestricted.
Josh Hart? How old is Josh Hart? If we talking
I think
long
he's like
term, how
He
old
26
is
or
he?
young, man. He like
27.
26, 27.
So
He's 27.
you said you wanted to look at his contract. Can you pull it up? I could pull it up,
That's
but you brought it up.
Yeah, hey, Smoke, just go ahead and pull it up. Pull it up, bro.
All right, I'll pull it up.
Yeah,
go ahead, bro.
yeah. Yeah, so he a young dude, bro. I think he might come fit right in. So Dre, Dre, if this is indeed true, how do you feel about, who goes to the bench, and does this add enough significant depth in order for us to make a move in the Eastern Conference? Does it give you the vibes that we can catch a Brooklyn that might be falling
I
down the
think I
standings?
think yeah, I think we might. I think we can catch Brooklyn. It depends on if the parts match and if KD cares. But for the most part, I think yeah, McBride is probably out of the rotation. To answer Queen in the chat,
Okay.
McBride is definitely up out of that rotation. We're gonna
I
go.
don't think so, bro.
I I don't see like the thing that made McBride what he was. Even when he was in the game, he was an off guard. He was never playing point guard. He was just an
Right,
off guard. And Josh Hart
right,
is a bigger version of him.
right.
Okay,
If we're keeping
I
it
don't
a
mean to
buck,
cut you out. Can I say
Yeah, go
go ahead.
he's only making 12,900,060? Well, 960,000 to be correct. This season and next season, same exact salary. So
Easy.
$13 million salary. And now we don't got to pay Cam next year because we know we getting Josh Hart for 13 million. Then we're gonna complain that how about that's too much?
Well, I thought he was a free. Wait. He has another year. Let me look at
He
Josh
has
Hart's
another
contract.
year on that. Are we gonna complain that's too much? Because I know how Knicks
Oh
fans
no,
is.
for Josh Hart, no,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah, Josh.
damn good
Hey, well,
deal.
Knicks fans complain about everything, but Jay Boogie is in the
Whoa,
building. What's good,
no, no,
boss?
no, 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 no. Next year
Ashy
he
knuckles
has.
and everything, J Bug.
I did it already.
Oh, what's up? What's up, Jay Boogie? I was gonna say one thing real quick. He has a player option, and he's gonna opt out because he wants to
Yeah,
be a
He's
that's
not
player.
what I
gonna opt
thought.
out
Yeah,
after we win this year, man. Come, well, you see, you
Yes, he
being a
is. Yes, he
pessimist.
is. Money
yeah,
rules
he gonna
everything.
opt out
Money
because
rules
he
everything.
undervalued, bro. He undervalued right now.
His caliber of player is getting 18 to 20 million.
Yep,
Now
Smoke.
you're
easy.
gonna
He's
talk
not
him up
going.
because he's coming to the Knicks, man. Come on, man. What is he doing on the Blazers the way they're willing to trade him to us in the first place, man?
Because they don't
He's
want to pay him. They want to pay Jeremy
and
Grant. That's what they want to do.
they can't pay him and Jeremy Grant.
I agree. That's a good point.
So
And he
they
might
let him
opt out
go.
to get paid by us. That's a good point too. That's a good point. So I can't
He might, yeah,
dismiss it because it's a possibility.
he might opt out to get. I don't know if he still has his bird rights though, because I'm looking at his contract.
If he get
He might
traded,
not
he
have
got
his.
traded, so we got his bird rights. If he gets traded to
No,
us,
no, no, but I'm thinking about the team he came from before. Did he leave the Lakers? Because I know he
he
was on
got
the Lakers.
he
Did he
got
leave the
traded. He
Lakers?
got traded to the Pelicans and he got traded to the Blazers. So they still own his bird rights.
How
Okay.
bird rights work is limited bird rights depending on the number of years you are with a team. In order to
Right.
have full bird rights, you got to spend three consecutive years with a team. But Josh Hart has been with the Blazers for 2 years, so it'll be limited bird rights. So we'll have an advantage up to a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Depending on it, if the Knicks concede bird rights to Cam Reddish, if the Knicks concede bird rights to Cam Reddish, then we'll have whatever benefit that Portland would have had.
Right.
What's going on,
Boogie,
big guy?
salute, man.
What's
Jay
going on,
Boogie
big
was
guy?
good, boss.
You enjoyed yourself yesterday?
No,
Yeah.
that's a topic for yeah. Orlando's
Freezie,
a
why you
rumor.
acting like you didn't enjoy yourself, man? You went to the stadium and you got the. I heard how the Knicks fans was going crazy in that stadium.
You say why you didn't enjoy yourself?
I was gonna say, yeah, man. Just because you go to an NBA, all venues ain't the same, bro.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like just because you go see Atlanta or Charlotte or Orlando, or DC don't mean like all the venues are gonna be the same, because they not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, man.
You still though. You still there though.
Yeah, I'm still here for a minute, man. I'll be on the road probably. I'm gonna see who they playing tomorrow night. If they playing somebody tomorrow night, man, I might go check them out tomorrow night too.
Okay, well, you need to find you some Wi-Fi because a whole lot of fireworks is getting ready to happen. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You know, I was on Gmo show
They play the
yesterday.
Nuggets tomorrow. My bad. My bad.
Who?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I think I might check. Yeah.
I thought it was Philly.
No, they playing
not the
the Nuggets
Knicks,
tomorrow.
man. The Magic.
The Magic.
Who cares who Orlando plays? Nobody.
Yeah. He's talking about Orlando. I'm talking about for real.
Man, who cares who they play? If you going to the game, you just going. Nobody don't care about who they play. I was on Gmo show yesterday, man, and I shared a little something with him. And what I told him, and the same thing I'm gonna tell y'all is, these past 2 days, the Saturday and Sunday where I was in the Delta in New York and at the games, I was able to talk to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? But I can't say who or of the sources, but what I was actually told is the Knicks are going to make some moves where a lot of jerseys are going to be changed. You know what I'm saying? I can't say who the person was, and they didn't tell me who they was going after, but they told me that some jerseys are going to be changed this deadline. So they are I know that they're not finished yet. I know that. And just come speaking of, you know what I'm saying, what a coincidence. When y'all was talking about Josh, as soon as I said, then that break, you know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. That's a good thing for us to have Josh. I can't believe some of y'all already talking about the guy opting out, leaving the squad already. He ain't even got here.
Your man's in,
He ain't even got here yet.
Man, come on, man.
You wilding out, being a pessimist.
Yeah, man. Y'all can't believe, man. I can't believe that. Let somebody come in. You know what I'm saying? You would want somebody to come in and stay, you know what I'm saying? And that's a good kid. That man leads all guards and rebounding, all guards. So that means, he can crash that board too, you know what I'm saying? And he know how to play, you know what I'm saying? And he's dependable. He makes and he plays in games. He's not one of them guys that duck games and miss games and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good piece, you know what I'm saying?
The problem is another guy at RJ Wade, J Boogie.
Do what? Do what? What do you say?
Yeah, that's the problem.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said that's another guy in RJ Wade. That's the problem. It's always the problem.
Don't be surprised that they trying to get him RJ out of the way. Don't be surprised.
I view Josh Hart as a role player, a very, very, very good, dependable role player that will play at 100% maximum effort on both ends. But to say he would be in RJ's way, that would be like saying Cam was going to be in RJ's way when Cam got here.
Cam was in RJ's way. That's why he got benched, fam.
No,
come on, cut it out. We know the politics.
Man,
what's really going on?
RJ,
cut it out, fam.
RJ is in his own way.
That's what it is, Boogie. That's what it is. More than
RJ's completely self-checked. He's playing defense on himself. You've been in the park, you play ball, dude can't make a basket, and they'd be like, yo, he's self-checked, man. That's what he is. He's self-checked. You know what I'm saying? He's in his own way playing defense, full court pressure on himself. He need to get out of that because a lot of good things is happening for RJ. He's not showing it. Number one is you're not checking the hardest offensive player on defense no more in that starting rotation.
Correct.
Number two, you getting the third.
You want to see it?
Hold on, let him finish, Dre.
Yeah.
You're getting the third best defensive player on defense checking you. Correct. You're not getting the number one or the number two. You're getting the third because that's what you are, a third option. You know what I'm saying? So RJ has his own excuses why things are not happening for him that can make the team better. Is on RJ. RJ has to get his game right. And I'm one of the ones that really starting to get tired of waiting for him. I am. I don't want to hear nothing else, nowhere else. If I hear anywhere else, I'm on the chat or I'm just listening to chat, I will cut myself off from the page. If I hear somebody else say, yo, he's only 23, he's only 25, I don't even want to hear that no more.
Right.
Only age numbers. Come on, man.
Right.
4 years, he
Yeah,
got
come
his
on.
money.
Yeah,
Can I
man.
give you Freeze? Can I give him a small assessment of what happened to RJ? RJ came in.
Well, how about we talk about the Josh Hart trade?
All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, how about we talk
Okay.
about the Josh Hart trade is something that just happened, man. The RJ thing is saying
Yeah.
what it is.
Got it.
The thing is what I would like to say, man, to it is for those of us that were in the camp at the Grimes draft that begged the Knicks to trade for Cam Reddish. I'm glad the Knicks traded for Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish came here, he didn't do nothing. Salute Cam Reddish. You know what I'm saying? You're going to another spot, man, to fulfill your dream. Was excited about the opportunity to see you play as a Knick. If this is the way it ends, it's just the way it ends. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work out here. It didn't work out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be one of those that's gonna be like beg for Cam to come here, and then when he get here, try to kick his back in, and then act like I'm glad to see him leave. So it is what it is. Cam for Josh Hart. You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart is a quality NBA player. He's gonna come here and play a significant role. We know that because Josh Hart, while he doesn't have championships, but we believe he plays a winning style of basketball.
Yes.
So that's what he's tough, show up every day. He's hard nosed. You know, he is what we think Grimes will be in a year or two. At this stage of his career, he's what we think Grimes will be in a year or two. We hope Grimes will be better. You know what I'm saying, after that. But, if we're getting Josh Hart, it sends a message to Knicks fans that the front office is not asleep at the wheel. You know what I'm saying? All we wanted was for the front office to show us that they are, just as good as other front offices. That's what we wanted to see. So the Josh Hart thing, we'll bring him in and see what we can do. And we're gonna root. I'm gonna root for Josh Hart as hard as I root for any other Knick, and not try to treat him sideways because he didn't start. He wasn't drafted as a Knick. He didn't sign as a free agent. He was traded here. So that's my take on the Josh Hart thing.
I'm gonna keep it light and short.
I like the move.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Dre.
You got it. I was gonna say I like the move because it solidifies our guard rotation. Because as good as McBride looked in that one particular game, let's call a spade. 90% of the time, he looked like he didn't belong on the court. He looked lost, and you slowly starting to figure it out. But if we're going to make this playoff push, it probably would be best to have Josh Hart take all of those minutes, those 20 to 25, sometimes 30, depending on the matchup, those types of minutes. And we'll figure out where we lie at towards the end of the season. Maybe we can be a 4 seed or a 5 seed and be a tough matchup for whoever we face. But I'm trying to see if there's any more moves that can be made between now and the deadline. You can go ahead, Nick.
Yo, all I was gonna say is like, finally we get one of those players that we like. I wouldn't say dream about, but like one of those Josh Hart's not a miscellaneous player, so don't misquote me with what I'm saying, right? But you got a lot of miscellaneous players in the league that show up at opportune times and does stuff, right? So I think he's one of those players that occasionally he pops up on SportsCenter doing something fly, and now we got him, right? So he's going to contribute, especially we didn't lose no focal points, right? We lost somebody that wasn't even playing for us. So if we work him into the system, and Josh Hart he played good for the Pelicans, and I liked him on the Lakers. So him coming and I don't know if he played with Randall that one
year. He did.
I think he did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So boom, that right there says they have a little bit of a rapport. You know what I mean? And they're actually getting players in that has a chemistry with the players on our team. They're not just getting miscellaneous players. You know what I mean? They're getting players that can actually feng shui with what we got going on. So I think Josh Hart is a sneaky good trade, like Jalen Brunson was a sneaky good signing, right? And I'm gonna land my plane right there.
I think I would say Jalen Brunson is sneaky good signing, but he kind of went above and beyond for what his value is. Like
That's why it's called sneaky
he's out.
good, because the only
I,
person was
I
on it
mean,
was us.
I would say I wouldn't even say it was sneaky good. Like
Hold on,
whatever
how many
it.
people Drake said he got overpaid? So that's why you got to
No no
call
no
it
no no
sneaky
no
good.
no no no
How
no
many
no no
people
no.
was yelling he
It,
got overpaid? He's
you're
undersized.
not.
We
Let
don't
me
want him because
finish,
he's
Nick.
6'1".
Nick,
I'm just telling you.
Nick.
Now
I'm
I gotta pull
agreeing
back
with
on what you're
you.
saying
I'm
because that's
agreeing.
exactly
You
what
just
people were saying.
yes,
Can I
yeah.
finish,
So,
Nick?
but
You did not let me
so
finish.
smoke was. Oh, hold on, Dre. So, what's the point? If you point out what people saying, what's the point?
Me?
Yeah,
Him,
Oh
me
yeah.
yeah.
or
The
Nick.
point of what I was saying was the fact that if we're talking about that Jalen Brunson wasn't a sneaky signing when everybody doubted us signing him in the first place, he's proved everybody wrong. That was my point.
Okay,
But no one's
okay.
doubting this Josh Hart move. Everyone
But
knows it's a solid move and a solid player. The
yeah,
thing that
and
blows
so
the thing out of
the
the
reason
water
why I
for my
interjected a little bit is at this point beyond 50 games in, for those that say that Jalen Brunson is not a value, you really like, for instance, I wouldn't even have addressed it because at this point, after you've seen 50 plus games of Jalen Brunson and people are still saying that he's not a valuable player, then you have to question, you know what I'm saying, what people are saying. And we often question, you know what I'm saying, what people say and waste time doing that. What I would say to the Jalen Brunson thing and the Josh Hart thing, I think it's a combination now of high IQ players that are going to come in and be that not tough guy, but tough minded person that comes in and doesn't lose focus during games, becomes more professional as you go along, and now you can still play Grimes a bunch of minutes, just not as a starter. You can steam his development because you still want to develop Grimes and McBride and quickly and Sims. And just really quick, where we thought a unprotected first was in a trade, but before that we thought it was Hartenstein. How do you guys now feel that we kept Hartenstein and then gave the unprotected pick instead? Would you have preferred to give up Hartenstein or kept the unprotected or
it's
send the
protected.
unprotected first? I
It's a
mean, I'm sorry, the
protected.
protected first. The protected
Yeah.
first, I'm sorry.
Keep
Actually,
Harden,
I
keep
would
Hardenstein.
I, I would have to see what the protections are for me to completely go in on it. But for whatever it is, we're pretty savvy with our trades. We don't ever get really ripped off in any trade.
Right.
So I think it's gonna be heavily protected, especially because it's a guy that's gonna be a possible free agent. So they're not
Right.
gonna sit up there and ask us for the moon and the stars for a premium role player that's gonna be a free agent. So like I don't see us losing that trade. I think it's probably gonna be like a top 20 protected pick or something like that. Some high, heavily
Okay.
protected. We'll see. And I like the move. And keeping
I,
Hartenstein also helps us with our big depth.
I asked that question because when the details first, when we were first getting the sketchy details, I think Smoke was not a fan of Hartenstein, especially since he just started playing better. So Smoke, do you feel better now that you know that an uncertain protected first round pick is gone instead of Hartenstein?
To be honest with you, my problem with Hartenstein is complete. I could simplify it. Stays on the floor, but if the energy and effort he's been given the last 10 games, I
Right.
can dig that, right? So I'm not
Right.
my opinion changes with the data, right? So he's been playing good lately, giving us a lot of effort. Like that one game we won against Philly, he was the one who got the steal from one of them dudes at the end. I don't know specifically the name, but
Right.
things like that effort. I'm an effort and energy guy. If you give me effort, energy, and you trying hard, that lets me know that you laying it all on the line. So I
Right.
was with Hartenstein the last 10 games. So no, I don't want him traded, to be honest, at this specific point. No.
Okay. So you feel more comfortable with Hartenstein staying in that protected first round pick going.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a protected first round pick, just to clarify, right? It's a potential, right? Potentially it may work, potentially it may not work. And I'm not really a person that want to deal with ifs, if so's, or maybes, right? I know what Hartenstein gives me, so I'd rather deal with that at least through this season, right? Because I know that at least he's going to give energy and effort. And that pick, we lose him, and now we just stuck with Mitch and Sims, and then we're that's out of luck. No.
Okay. All right. Hey, Jay Boogie, how do you feel about the Knicks adding money to the salary cap? You get Josh Hart for 12.9. You send Cam, who was making about 7. So how do you feel about the Knicks sending a first round pick and taking on more salary cap money?
Man, James Dolan ain't even tripping about that. Do what you got to do. I was sitting there watching James Dolan on first hand, back-to-back nights, sitting in that row, shaking his head yes and shaking his head no. You know what I'm saying? James Dolan, people think James Dolan is not into these basketball games. Dolan is into these games. When guys is making mistakes, he's sitting there shaking his head no, like, nah, what are you doing? And they make to do the right play, he's shaking his head yes. You know what I'm saying? James Dolan don't care about no money. James Dolan won a championship. He's gonna spend whatever money, you know what I'm saying? And we not, man, it's teams out there. I think Golden State like 140 million over the salary cap. We ain't know what that ain't nothing. Leon can figure out that money and get that money situated, get it right, you know what I'm saying? But me personally, man, spend the money. You want a championship, you gotta spend the money to have the players here. For the extra reason is, we're still in a situation where we're fighting to get people here. So you got to spend money to get these guys when other teams might be hesitant to give some of these guys the money. You know what I'm saying? I love with Hart coming over here on this team. You know what I'm saying? That does a lot. You know what I'm saying? Two things that's going to happen. I mean, well, more than two things. A lot of great things. You're gonna get a guy that's going to play hard on both sides of the ball. He's going to rebound on both sides of the ball. Number one thing is, I think he's going to be a perfect role model. I'm going to say this now. Grimes is getting ready to be our future number 2 for years and years to come. That's Grimes' spot from here on. You know what I'm saying? So adding a guy like Josh Hart with him, you know what I'm saying? That's the perfect, you know what I'm saying, student enrollment class he can go to. They similar to one another. They like to play D. They like to go and try to rebound. They similar, you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why I never even thought about maybe, Grimes would be a small comparison to Josh Hart. They go together. And another thing is, when you talk about Hart, the first report that I was looking and I was watching and hearing about was it was Cam and unprotected second round picks. I mean, it was Cam and second round picks. I never heard nothing about Hardenstein, and I never heard nothing about now it's an unprotected first round pick. You know what I'm saying? But that
No, it's a protected first round pick.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I never heard nothing about a first unprotected first round pick. But you best believe the way the Knicks is building this team, we not getting ready to be in the middle of the pack no more. We're not going back to the basement no more. Them guys are getting ready to build something so we can be high up, you know what I'm saying? Late picks, from here on out, man. But Hardenstein's still here, man. This Josh Hart situation is going to help Hardenstein coming off the bench because, Hardenstein is really not in his Joakim Noah role like he should be, being that, Tom, you coach this guy up there high at the top of the key at the 3-point line, making backdoor cuts, passes, and everything that Joakim Noah used to do. This is what you need Hardenstein to be doing. And now you got another guy that you can play with coming off that bench that know how to cut, maneuver on the floor, that's not stagnant, not stationary, knows how to move around. That's going to help Hardenstein even more as far as his pass game. You know what I'm saying? Once he, receives the ball up there and that high screen, you know what I'm saying, drop off they get to him. But they ain't dropping off for him to really shoot the trade no more. He ain't looking at the rim, but they looking at him where he looking to do make a pass. But dude's gonna be backdoor cutting like that no more on that second option, you know what I'm saying, on that second unit. But man, I love the situation. I'm happy about what's going on. I know it's more moves to come, you know what I'm saying? But that lets us know, you know what I'm saying, they working on something, man. And that's right there's a move to help, fire up the bench, give some of our guards and you know what I'm saying, a little extra rest, you know what I'm saying? So maybe Evan Rose, look for them to get ready to start, getting up out of here, man.
Okay. So this is the third year in a row under this regime that the Knicks front office has made a trade at or before the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else question if this Knicks front office is not active?
I would just ask, can we give this trade a grade?
Can we grade it yet?
I'm gonna wait.
I don't know if it's real or not, but if it is real, can we talk about that?
If it come out of Woj keyboard, it's real.
No, I'm not talking about that. But you don't know what all the principal parts are yet.
Oh,
I don't care about the draft picks and principality. If we got Josh Hart and we gave up Cam, right? Because player for player, the pick is an epiphany, right? That's in our imagination.
But that's what you care about. That's what you care about. I care about it. I care about it because
you care about the principles of the draft picks.
Yes, that's your opinion.
I'm
right?
Like
with me, I care because if it's a protected pick in this draft, right? Say it's the Washington pick, right? If it's the Washington pick, right? Then I care about it because if Washington somehow miraculously makes the playoffs this year, then that pick would convey into a late first this year, right? But if we're talking about like a Milwaukee protected first starting in 2024, I don't care about that one, right? But it's one of them things like, what parts are we judging? Is what I'm getting at, because Josh Hart is not that good where we can just say forget everything else. We got Josh Hart. You know what I'm saying? Josh Hart is good, but he's not. I mean, let's not get into it. Josh Hart is not that good of a player. Josh Hart is a quality NBA player, a good player, but I don't think Josh Hart is that good where we could say, forget about everything else as long as we got Josh Hart. And he's not there yet. And we shouldn't be thinking that way.
Which is why you're like,
I won't think that way. Let me put it.
Which is why lesser value for Josh Hart over Cam Reddish.
But that's not what you gave up. You gave a pick and Cam.
No, I'm asking a question.
Oh,
something else happened.
You see that? You look
at Yeah, I just saw it.
Okay.
What happened?
The Knicks are sending. The Knicks are sending Ryan Arcidiacono and Svi in the trade.
Oh, I just seen the protection. Wow. Okay, I'll read it. In the Hart Reddish deal, the Knicks are sending the Blazers a lottery protected 2023 first round pick that turns into 4 future second round picks if not conveyed this year. So if we miss the playoffs, which we are, it'll turn into 4 second round picks for Josh Hart. Basically, we gave up 4 firsts and Cam for Josh Hart.
No, 4 seconds in Cam.
4 seconds in Cam for Josh Hart. Well, this speaks to, remember Brock Aller and us squeezing every second rounder we can get.
Yeah. I think I kind of like that. I like that better. Smoke, that's why I thought it was important, the protections on the picks.
But we got somebody that's more focused than somebody that's other focused. I'm not discarding that picks are important, right? We didn't get Steph Curry. We picked eighth, they picked seventh, and we missed out. So I understand how important picks actually are. All I'm saying is if we get in a person with high IQ that's going like he's not OG and he's not Gary Trent, right? But I've been in conversations where we talked about Josh Hart, maybe not on this specific panel, and probably, every player's name get thrown around when you talking basketball all the time. So all I was saying was he's an upgrade. That's all I was really truly trying to say. He is an upgrade.
Right. And what I'm saying to you is that you can be absolutely right. Right. But what I'm saying is I just reserve the right to just stay and how I feel. Like you
No,
can be right.
I'm
And
not
I'm not
even
disputing it.
disregarding how you feel.
I'm saying I'm
Not at
feeling
all.
differently. That's
For
what
sure.
I'm getting at. And the more I think about it, man, really 4 seconds. The more and more I think
Come
about it,
on,
man, the
Freeze.
more
4
I want to reserve.
seconds. Who we getting in the second round?
Yeah, I don't know. And Jay, but how you feel? How you feel about it, man? Now that you
How you
know.
feel, Jay Boogie?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know we're not going nowhere near. If the unprotected is our pick, we're not going nowhere in the lottery. I ain't even tripping on that. You know what I'm saying? So, from here on out, we gonna play off bounds all the way. You know what I'm saying? It's bust. It's playoff of bust and championship of bust. That's the way they heading. So I'm good with that movement right there. Second round, yeah, baby. Second round picks can't. You know what I'm saying? You can hit or miss. You can make something with them. You know what I'm saying? But right now, a late first round pick gonna do me a whole lot better than a second round pick. But we're not doing nothing with our picks that we have that's not unprotected. We're gonna do something major with them. We just gonna lay in the cut like band-aids and wait for us to get one of these guys that be like, yo, I want out. I want out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You see like that happened with Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? And Kevin
Right.
Durant might say that, but I'm not saying to go get them guys, but you got to have yourself in position to be in the ball game when somebody say, I want out. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want none of them guys. They had their chances to come here. So, yeah. But, yeah, I love what's going on, Free. Say
Okay.
hi, Freezie. Then what you doing down here?
Hey,
Oh,
boss
in the
lady.
bed. She don't got up out of her bed and everything. What you doing down here?
Yeah, man.
But say hi, Freezie.
Hi.
Okay.
Hey, baby.
Hey, say hi, Smoking Nick.
Hi, Smoking Nick.
All right.
Hi, loved one.
No.
Okay.
Behind you.
All right.
How
How
is
you
not
doing?
behind you?
Oh, there ain't nobody behind him. You see him.
No. I was thinking about the smoke.
Oh, okay.
How
You see the
you
joke.
doing, pretty?
That's his nickname. The smoke behind it. That's a smoke stream
Yeah.
right there. That's that. In other words, those are clouds.
You gotta bring the festivities behind it gotta be an extravaganza, loved one.
Again.
Real
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah. Something else get ready to come about, man. Everybody just be patient and stay tuned, man. They ain't finished working. They get ready to
Yeah,
work.
man.
I think that's a great pick. Josh Hart is a great pick. We got two of the young Lakers good picks right now, and him and I'm telling you, it's about to work. I'm telling you, it's about to work together. That Josh Hart pick was a great move. If we really got him, and that's a fact on Woe's show,
Right.
I like that move.
I'm gonna refurnish and say this over again. Because I gotta remind y'all that I said this, you know what I'm saying? So it can happen if when it happens, you're gonna know and understand what you're gonna remember I said this. This is Brunson's team. That cat comes from Brunson's school. So when they ship old boy up out of here, when Tom goes, don't be surprised they go get that ex-Villanova coach. I keep telling y'all. Things is lining up more in Villanova favor. You know what I'm saying? I know you shake your head about the Julius, man. Dude, I'm a
Yeah, you
Julius.
already know. Yo,
Yeah,
you
but
already
I'm a
know, J
Julius.
Bug.
I'm
No
a Julius.
disrespect, man. It's
I'm a
just
Julius
honest
Randle dude
disagreement, man.
myself, man. You got to understand that.
I
I'm a
know. I
Randle.
do understand. I do
Yeah,
understand.
but they're gonna build this team around this guy, and it's not built like they wanted. That's why you still see the double teams on him. They're gonna build this team around him, whereas you're not gonna be able to double team that guy.
I agree with that.
That's what you want.
I
You don't
agree.
want him to be facing all these double teams and all these long
No, I
defenders.
agree with that. But what I do like is the fact that now we got two guys you actually have to double team, right? And sometimes when RJ get hot, he's the third guy you have to double team. Now we got a Josh Hart he can hit the three consistently, right? He's not trying to prove himself because he has proven himself a little bit in the league already. So I like that move. I like that move specifically, right? If it was Gary Trent, I would have liked it a little more. If it was OG, I would have liked it even more. But I like the Josh Hart move. If he's real.
Man, Kyrie over here cooking these people, man. They get ready to give Kyrie 4-year, 180 mil.
We didn't get Kyrie.
They about to give him the
The
bag.
two, it's gonna start with a two, Boogie.
After getting Brunson, how that make us look?
What?
Getting Kyrie after getting Jalen Brunson, unless you want to put Brunson at guard.
Who getting Kyrie?
No,
I'm
what
talking
I'm
about the
saying
Mavericks.
No, what I'm saying
they're
is
gonna give him that 4-year, 200.
Got him
period.
after we got Jalen Brunson. How would that have looked? That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, we won't even think about Kyrie, man. They ain't messing with them people. Like I said, they had their chance to come here. They turned it down. So being that you turned it down when you could have walked here for no picks, I'm not getting ready to give up picks to get you. Right. They ain't getting ready to do that. But he loving it out there in Dallas, and it's tax free. Oh man, I need all this right there. He get ready. Yeah, in the Clippers right
get
now.
The bag.
Yeah, he left here and wasted 4 years of their time that they ain't gonna get back. Wasted about 4 years, bro.
Hey, so Mets, man, I'm not at the crib, man. I'm not in the studio. And so if I put too many people on, and y'all listen, man, y'all gotta understand where I'm coming from. If I have too many people on in the video chat, it's gonna mess up what, basically I just can't do it because it's just not a good production.
Excuse me, Freezie, check it. You know what I'm saying? You got a big fan base. I'm gonna go ahead and log off. So if you want to bring somebody else, because you see Ford's working good. It seems like Ford's working good. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna jump off if you want to bring somebody else in, because you got a big fan base, you know what I'm saying? People want to rock with you. They want to hear what's going on, be a part of what's going on. So, I'll still be in the chat, man. But,
appreciate you,
bro. Everybody, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that was a part of that. The number 3 all-time attendance record breaking in Orlando. And that's because
Orlando.
Y'all was that deep? Y'all was that deep?
Yeah, that's because the Knicks people was in there. They had nothing to do with the Orlando Magic. It had nothing to do with Mickey Mouse, Minnie, none of that. It was the Knicks.
The announcer was like, RJ Barrett.
Yeah,
loving it, bro.
You can hear us in the crowd. Like, it was so lit. I'm watching it from home, and I can hear the Knicks fans going crazy in Orlando like they in New York. I'm like,
yo, you should have seen the line to the bathroom, bro.
Man, it's crazy when they get to yelling Obi Top, and when was the last time you heard that in the gun?
Man.
But I'm gonna holler to my brother, big brother. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I'm gonna jump off and let somebody else come in. All right. Shout out to y'all, man.
Man. Love you, J Bug.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And it's just one of them things, man. It's a tech issue, so it's a tech issue I don't feel like dealing with, especially now since we got a trade out there. I just don't want to do this whole stopping and starting. I'm not feeling that. I already talked to Dre about that before we even got started, bro.
Right.
Yeah, you did.
That's why they want to smoke. That's why they want to put the link in the chat earlier. You know what I'm saying?
No. I appreciate you sending it to my Twitter, man. I appreciate that.
Hey, Mets, what's good, bro? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Easy.
Good. Yeah, man. Hey, so we just bear with us, bro. I'm doing it, you know what I'm saying, from the phone, away from the studio, man. So, it's not like how I can have 8 or 9 or even 10 when I'm in Studio G. So, yeah, man.
Anyway, so the scuttlebutt is we're getting Josh Hart for our City of Kono Svi, and a couple of second rounders?
Well, basically, we're trading a protected lottery first rounder. If it doesn't convey, well,
I.e., we get him.
basically, we're gonna give them a late first rounder. If for whatever reason we wind up in the lottery, we give them 4 seconds.
Hold
So
on. Do you like it or don't you like it?
I like it.
No, not you.
Oh, him.
I
Next.
don't know
Oh,
about this one. I mean, if we make the playoffs, that's a late first rounder for the Blazers. If we don't, we keep our lottery pick and they get 4 second rounders as a trade off. Correct? From how
yes,
I'm seeing this.
yes. That's
Hold
exactly how
on.
it is.
Do you like Josh Hart or
I haven't really seen him play all that much.
I like Josh Hart. Oh, well, if you
Yeah.
want me to
Okay.
give,
So I'm confused at what we getting at. So
you want me to describe his game for you, Max, or no?
Sure, go ahead. What's he like?
He's a 6'5", around 210 to 220 shooting guard. Plays with a ton of energy, ton of hustle, maximum effort. He's a Tibbs guy. He almost averages 10 rebounds a game as a shooting guard. He plays defense at a high level. He can shoot a little bit better. He's shooting low volume right now, and he's shooting 30% from the 3-point line on low volume. When he first got traded to the Trailblazers, he was taking 6 3-pointers a game at 37%, but that was a 13 game split. So we'll see. I think he's going to come off the bench with other guys that can shoot better than him.
I'm worried with this idea because mostly we're just giving up 2 shooting guards for yet another shooting guard. Isn't this team already bloated with shooting guards?
He can play the 3. He can play. He's actually more viable at guarding other small forwards than Grimes is, for sure. Even if he's 6'5", 6'6", he's definitely guarded small forwards at a higher level than Grimes or RJ has on
I'm
this
just
team.
saying, isn't this team already bloated with shooting guards?
We're lacking consistent guard depth though. That's the
yeah.
thing.
And just because you have a bunch of them, don't mean that all of them are good.
I know.
Or suit the same role or fit the same role. Like not every 6'5", 210 guy plays the same. Evident by how you see Grimes and Hart play. They play almost not polar opposites. On defense, they both get after it, but their offensive games are different. And this guy is pretty rugged and he crashes the glass. Like he averages 9 rebounds as a guard, which is
But how long
kind
has
of
he been in
absurd.
the league? At least 7 years?
No, not that long. He got to the league a little
Yeah,
bit
and
later.
Metz,
He's like 5 years.
You would hold on, Dre. Metz, you went in the chat saying you had something to say. What you got to say? Say something.
In that basically,
And you coming up asking questions, man. You coming up asking questions, bro. You in the chat saying you had something to say.
I'm just saying that I'm concerned about this trade. I mean, I was thinking on paper we were going to get either nothing or just get another trade that ends up biting us in the ass like we did last year with Reddish.
Okay.
The latter of which we couldn't even use at all because we got him as damaged goods.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I understand where you coming from with that. Is this a deal to bring in another guy? Is this a Dennis Smith Jr. trade? Is this a Cam Reddish trade? Right? Is this a Austin Rivers sign and trade? Is this an Evan Fournier sign and trade where it looks good on the surface and then next year or towards the end of the season it's like, you
find the flaws.
Yeah, I get it. There's some I can understand the trepidation there.
Everybody got flaws though.
Yeah.
So
what I would consider is as I think about this more and more, Dre, I don't know. I have an ebb and flow feeling about this, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I have an ebb and flow feeling about this. Like initially, I was excited about the trade because we did something. And then while y'all were talking, I went to the other side thinking like having buyer's remorse. And now I'm slowly coming back to the middle. I think 4 second-round picks is I want to compare it to the Rui Hachimura trade, right? So the Rui Hachimura trade basically the Wizards got Kendrick Nunn and 3 second-round picks.
Right.
And for Josh Hart, the Blazers are maybe getting, maybe we're getting Josh Hart, and they're getting 4 second-round picks, Cam Reddish, Svi, and Ryan Arcidiacono. That sounds like a lot. That sounds like a lot to me, bro.
It's really a late first round pick because we're planning on making the playoffs. Now, if you go to the
No, we're
play-in,
gonna make the playoffs. We're
Let-
gonna make the playoffs, man. No doubt, no doubt.
if
I
we
don't-
get to
I
the
don't
play-in and
disagree with you,
lose,
man.
then it turns into a lottery pick, though. That's what happens. If we lose in the play-in, then it'll be a lottery pick. Then we would
No,
keep it.
I got that part.
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah.
understand the particulars.
Right.
What I'm thinking is long term, if the Knicks make the playoffs, right?
Mhm.
If the Knicks make the playoffs, is Josh Hart worth 7 players?
In my opinion, no.
That's what I'm thinking. And I'm not judging one way or the other, right? Right. I just want y'all to smoke. I want y'all to help me figure this out. Is Josh Hart you know?
I hear what you're saying when you say 7 players.
Yeah.
But I do. No, I hear you because it's potentially 7 players, right? But
Yeah, man.
no, I hear exactly what you're saying because that was as black and white as you could get it, right?
Right.
7 players, right? Because
Is
they're
Josh Hart potentially worth 7 players? Especially when the reigning league MVP was a second-round pick.
If you need a piece to a puzzle and then the puzzle is getting formatted, sometimes you got to give up 7 pieces to get that one glorious piece. You feel me? Right. And I'm not saying that. And to be honest, those 7 players, right?
Okay.
It's Fee, Cam, who was the other one?
Ryan Arcidiacono.
Arcidiacono, right?
Right.
And
4 second-round
potential
picks.
players we ain't even heard of or don't even. We might have heard of them, but they ain't on our team yet, right? So it's hypotheticals. Right. So, and who knows what they do with these picks, what these picks materialize into being. So I would always trade a pick for a physical in a minute, man. That's just me though.
Right.
Personally, I try to take what we got and try to build it. If it doesn't work out, then ship them out, especially if they're dead cap. I mean, look at the bad trades we've had over the years, dating back to the 2014 season. Shipping out Tyson Chandler, J.R. Smith, and Iman Shumpert. For Chandler, it was 2 second-round picks. For Shumpert and Smith, who did we get out of it? Jose Calderon, Shane Larkin, Wayne Ellington, and Sam Dallenberg. None of them were out.
Okay.
You gotta stop living in the past, bro.
Those are old regimes.
Yeah,
old
man,
regimes.
That's back in the. Oh no. Fam,
I understand what you're saying. But you're saying the approach, though. You're saying regardless of the front office, the franchise still taking the same approach. I can kind of see that. I'm hoping, Mets. Listen, man. I'm hoping that's not it. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm hoping that that's not it, and I think that's what Smoke is saying also. But when I lay this thing out in front of me, man, and chat, listen, I'm not down on Josh Hart. I still believe he's a quality player. But in the previous stream, we had a conversation about what we would give up for OG Anunoby, and folks in the chat said 3 unprotected first is too much for OG. But now the Knicks pull off a trade where they can potentially give up 7 players for Josh Hart. And if that's indeed the direction that the team is going in, it sends me the message as a Knicks fan, right? It sends me the message as a Knicks fan that the Knicks are going for it. I don't know what y'all were thinking like before this trade, but the message that is sent to me is like the Knicks are going for it, and no, this is not the last move. It's telling me that the Knicks are trying to put together a team that can knock off the Celtics in season, because you don't sacrifice your future. You don't sacrifice your future for a role player. You just don't. Not unless you feel comfortable with going for it.
And we gave
So,
up 3.
oh, go ahead, bro.
No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead,
We
bro.
gave up 3 dudes that don't play for a potential starter. Josh Hart has experience starting, right? And I don't want to sound like the ultimate optimist because I'm not. But all I'm saying is we gave up 3 dudes that don't play and 4 second rounders potentially for a dude that can start or be strong off the bench, whatever we decide we want to do. That's all I'm saying. Me personally.
So you're saying it's another man's trash is another man's treasure, basically. One man's trash is another man's. The Knicks
appreciation goes a long way, huh?
All 7 of them dudes that none of those 7 players are playing right now for the Knicks.
But 4 of those players don't exist to us.
Right, so they don't play.
So they don't exist. Their potential. So if they don't exist, why could I work out of sight, out of mind? So if you don't exist to me and the players we giving up don't even play, and we're getting a person that is a potential starter. So I think the value is, me.
I don't understand. So you think the value was good? 7 players for Josh Hart.
You saying 7 players, but second round players, they might not even make the team.
Hey, but in your theory though, second round players and first round players are the same thing.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. Because first round pick, because you hadn't seen first round picks either. You hadn't seen first round picks play either.
But we didn't give up did we give up a first round pick?
We might.
I thought it was Cam.
It's a protected first round pick.
And four picks. So
if it's 15 through 30, it's theirs.
It's an unprotected.
No, it's not.
Or 4 seconds.
No, stop talking and listen. If it's 15 through 30, it's theirs. That's as easy as you can make it. You the man, bro. You the man.
1 through 14, it's ours.
Yeah, and then we have to give up 4 second rounders to them.
So if it's 15 through 30, it's theirs. If it's 1 through 14, they get 4 future second round picks.
Right.
And if the season were to end today, where would our draft number be? Hypothetically.
Yeah. We can't do. If the season ended today, there would be no draft. We don't want to do that. If the season ended today, what are you getting at though, Matt? Like, what's the point?
Matt, it would be we're in the 7th seed right now, so it would be dependent on us getting out of the play-in and into the playoffs. Hypothetically, if we fail to get out of the play-in, then we get a lotto pick. It can be 13, 14, 12, or 11. One of those, I think.
Yeah. So you can't even get in the play-in. The play-in don't even matter. If you lose in the play-in, it's theirs, right? If you win a game in the play-in and then make the next play-in and lose, it's still theirs. You got to finish at 7 or above, bro.
That's tough.
8. You got to finish
or 8 or above. I'm sorry.
Right.
So what is it? So it's 17 through 30 then. I'm sorry. So 17.
Well,
the lottery is 14, right?
It's 14.
Okay.
It's 15 through 30. Whoa. I'm tripping myself up.
You think
it is.
KD? How long KD out?
Ooh, good question.
How long is KD out? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I want to know because we can still catch Brooklyn. We ain't that far. I was looking at the standards yesterday. Matter of fact, this morning when my girl was driving me to work, I was looking at the standards like, yo, we close. We can catch them. And they just lost Kyrie, and whoever they got ain't gonna hold frame that long. So I just want to know
See, they got back Dinwiddie.
How long KD out?
KD's gonna be back after the All-Star game. After the All-Star break. So KD's not even gonna play in the All-Star game. So that's like 2-3 weeks from now.
And you telling me we can't catch them in 2-3 weeks?
Well, I mean, there's not gonna be enough games to catch them in 2-3 weeks.
Even if we could catch them, we haven't beaten the Nets in like what, 3 years?
Yeah, no matter who's out there. It could be Cam Thomas by himself, and he'll.
That's cap. That's cap. They've always had. I've watched every Nets game.
Last year when KD and Kyrie didn't play, Cam Thomas dropped 30 something on us and we lost. We had like a 20-point lead.
28.
Yeah, almost 30. And KD and Kyrie did not play that game.
And I went off on that one.
Well, I'm wrong.
I mean, we should beat them though. Like, I'm not that worried about it.
Again, on paper, but what's the problem? Their coach has basically turned them from a team who couldn't defend to a team that can defend on a regular basis.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Was Steve Nash a bad coach? No. But was he defensively inept? Yes.
I would say it was both. I'd say Steve Nash was a bad coach. But even at that point, when you have two superstars, they underachieved in their games. So I can't even put it all on the coach. At that point, we've seen a lot of bad coaches with superstars and superstars carry them.
No, it was the fact that he didn't want to enforce Dre.
Right,
man.
True.
The fact that I get that y'all superstars and y'all proven a little bit in the league, but y'all haven't proven enough. You know what I mean? And I get not having a championship, and he's alumni. You know, he has MVPs, but you can't always play nice guy with these dudes. You got to tell them exactly what you need from them. You know what I mean? Yeah, and the problem was he wasn't holding them dudes accountable, and this is why Kyrie's head even got where it is, to where he's not even on the Nets right now. I thought him and KD.
Nick, the reason why they fired their coach before is because he was trying to hold them accountable, and he was like, I can't even do it. Because they don't even want to listen.
I know.
They didn't want no coach.
I know. But the problem is this, Dre. He didn't do that joint from the beginning.
Right.
I mean,
you got to come in day one and let these dudes know. He should have been fired on day one, not 2 years after playing nice and then deciding that you don't want to play nice no more, right? Mm-hmm. You don't play nice from day one so they know what time it is.
I mean,
facts.
True.
Right?
I mean, if, let's say, for example, I was coaching the Charlotte Hornets instead of Steve Clifford. You've seen how bad the team is this year, but then again, Steve Clifford's a living health hazard. I don't even know why he decided to come back when it was bad for his health.
Basketball is life for some, like Tibbs.
Oh. But anyway,
facts.
If I was doing that, I would hold Lonzo Ball and most of the main core, the quote-unquote stars of Buzz City, accountable for their incompetence.
Sometimes you can try to do that. Like, I don't know if you saw it recently, but the Houston Rockets coach was visibly upset. Like, he was pissed off at his most recent press conference because his players weren't listening. He's like, you just don't do that. And that's the voice of that's the sound of a man that's about to get fired. No, about to get fired. When the coach does that in a press conference, it's the hot seat. Or he's about to get fired.
And it's not Steven Silas's fault. But let me do this real quick, y'all. So Danny Thomas, thank you for the generous contributions. Thoughts in the Cam trade. We trade RG Diacono, Svi. Do you think we sign someone that gets bought out? Yes. I like the Cam trade in theory. I do think we're going to be bargain bin shopping.
For sure.
True. I mean, we don't have the cap to go for the big bucks.
Right.
And we do, we're just going to hit whammies.
Right. Hey, Ron, I see you, man. Hey, I'm not at home and I'm doing it from my phone. And so the more people I put in the chat, the less I'm gonna have tech issues, basically.
Yeah, it's like it's not made for a phone to handle that many people at the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
time.
It's StreamYard is
Can
StreamYard.
you handle five though? Just five, or
Huh?
can you handle five?
I don't want to try 5.
Okay, because
I rather just hey man, I rather just rotate in and out. Just you
You
know what
want
I'm saying?
you want me to
Yeah.
back off so Ron could get his piece? I ain't trying to hog
Nah, man.
nobody.
If you you
No,
still
I'm
ain't
just
answer my.
asking
Nah,
respectfully.
man.
Please.
You
I
ain't
ain't disrespecting.
you
I'm just asking if you want me to back out. I will respectfully.
Smoke. Don't listen to nobody, Dre. You see that? Smoke. You be talking and
I'll be
Smoke just cut you
posturing.
off.
I'm
You don't even be
sorry.
listening, bro. No, I'm saying is I asked you a question and you didn't answer it. I asked you the question and then I waited for you. You didn't say that, and I went and fixed a bowl of cereal, and I was in the kitchen and y'all was talking about the Charlotte Hornets.
what cereal is it? If you don't mind me asking.
Sorry about that.
It's Raisin
Would
Bran.
you ask me
It's
though?
boring.
Kellogg's are the post variety.
Post.
Okay, not
Yeah.
mad at
He
it.
said Kellogg's are the post variety.
Yeah, man. It's post. Yeah, man. Here's the thing though. Here's the thing.
I'll back out because I want to hear what Ron Cleveland's take is. If you don't mind, I
All
want
right.
to
Yo, Dre, salute, man.
salute. Smoking. And if
100%,
someone else
brother.
comes off, then I'll hop back on. You can message
Love
me
going
freely.
back and forth with you, brother.
Oh, you
Alert.
still got it's the same link, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll just hop back on when somebody
Yeah.
drops out.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, did somebody put the okay. So let me do this. Right. Yeah, man. We
I just want you
there
to
it
know
is.
that we appreciate you,
I
Freezie.
legit
In tough
I asked
times,
you a question.
still going hard. What was the question?
I asked you a question, bro, and then saying I waited, you still ain't answer, and I came back. Like
Now you got me intrigued. Now,
and now
like
it's like
I'm like
50 people done dropped off, bro. Yeah, I was talking about Charlotte instead of the Knicks, and 50 people left.
No, we was just trying to like,
I'm asking you straight up, bro. Do you think the Knicks are going for it?
Oh, you did ask that question. I remember that question.
I did
I
ask you.
remember
What's
how
up,
you
Ron? How
framed
you
it.
doing, man?
Yes. Yo, Ron, salute. 100%. You already know what time it is. Do I think the Knicks is going for it? Yes, I do think the Knicks are going for it, right? As well as I think they should be going for it, right? Because the time frame matches. We got Jalen Brunson here about 24, 25. We got Randall here about 28, 29. I know RJ Young and the rest of the cast is young besides like some of the role players and stuff like that, Fournier, Rose, et cetera, et cetera. But I do think we are going for it, and I also think as well as we should be, to simplify it.
All right, the Queen Bee want to hop on, man. I'm gonna ask for one of y'all to do the musical chairs thing so the Queen can come on for a little bit, and we'll just keep rotating like that. What's up, Ron?
Man. What's going on, man? Smoking Nick. Appreciate you, boy.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, my man, Mets. I feel for you. I'm a Braves fan. We on y'all.
No, I'm a Mets.
Yo, I'm gonna head out just so we can rotate it out here like that. But yo, Ron Cleveland, you already know what time it is, man. Uncle Freezie, I appreciate you having me. 100%. I'll be in the background in the chat.
Yo, you still got the link, bro. So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's the same link, Smoke.
And Freezie, I should have known something good was gonna happen today. February 8th was a day for me to go get my choppers clean. You know what I mean? Hey, if you don't get them things clean, man, you ain't gonna keep them. You heard me? You know what I mean? So hey, they're so clean, I didn't want to even eat today. You know what I mean? But man, this move, I'm gonna tell you, this move signifies a lot for me. We always talk about the front office and the coach not being on the same sheet of music.
Oh,
This is absolutely
I was
coach
gonna stay in the background. Sorry.
and front office on the same sheet of music. You think about it. You go back to the history of Josh Hart. Tom Thibodeau was the man running the show in Minnesota. Was the coach there, and he was banging the table. He wanted Josh Hart when he was in Minnesota. Almost got fired from Minnesota because of that. You know what I mean? So, and I look at this fact. I said, this is a tip guy all the way. So that lets me know the front office and the coach is on the same sheet of music. Now, the fact that they created other roster spots, Archie Diacono gone, Cam gone, that ain't no surprise. And that McCullough dude, they said is gone too, right?
Yes.
Yep. You're gonna have to bring some players back. You're gonna bring somebody back here. So this signaling to me that the New York Knicks are not finished. They're not finished, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you mean by bring somebody back?
They're bringing somebody on this roster.
Okay.
Normally, what we're seeing from Leon Rose is he normally have one spot open. That because he normally don't fill up the whole team. He normally have at least one, but you got 2 open spots on this roster now. Somebody's coming back, and I won't be surprised if it's Bones Highland. And I'm gonna tell you why, because they were talking about them looking at Bones Highland, and from what being reported out of Denver, saying all they want from whoever gets him is a number 1 draft pick. That's what they want, is a first-round pick for him. So I won't be surprised if they get Bones Highland. But I still won't be surprised if they try to get Sadiq Bey too. And I'm gonna tell you this. If the Knicks get Sadiq Bey, or if they circle the wagons and go back to Toronto and try to get OG, because we know things change in this game. You know what I mean, Freezie? People can say what they want. What they get is 2 different things. I can tell you why I want $1 million. But if somebody come with an offer and tell me they got me $500,000, I'm taking it right now. So if the Knicks mess around and get either one of those guys, that tells me something major coming in the offseason too. Somebody will be gone up out of here in the offseason. And I got my eyes on one person. I don't want to even call his name. I think people been hearing me talk about this guy enough, and I hate to even have to talk about him in that light. But I think the Knicks are definitely not done. They're not done. Shout out to your queen. Oh, she disappeared.
Yeah, she disappeared.
What you think? You think they finished, Freezie?
I don't know. In terms of acquisitions, like just because you have 2 open roster spots, don't mean it doesn't necessarily determine what direction you want to go in. I'm sure they're gonna fill those roster spots. Especially, I think they'll do 1 and 1. I think they'll do 1 for every day and leave the 15th spot open until they get closer to the playoffs or closer to March. Greeny, what's good, boss?
Yo, what's good, y'all? How y'all doing tonight?
Man,
good, man. Where you at, boss?
Man.
You downstairs?
We got 30 wins on this season, man. I can't complain, man.
And
I'm chilling.
This month from last year's. Here's win total in the month.
Right.
I might cut out right here. I'm getting a phone call.
Okay, let me move.
Freezer, you know, you got me thinking when you talk about players they can go pick up. Don't be surprised if they call Carmelo Anthony, man.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Don't be surprised if they gonna call Carmelo for the playoffs, man.
I would say I would say this, man, to the trade. I was trying to get the Smoking Nick to kind of to talk to it, right? I don't like the idea of the Knicks giving up 7 players for Josh Hart, because if Josh Hart leaves in free agency, then and he will, because he's got a player option. He'd be reckless to his family to not opt out and try to get more than the 12.9 that he's owed. You know what I'm saying? It's not a smart thing to do, especially when that man can make about somewhere between 16 and 18 for 4 years, right? My thing is, I like Josh Hart. And he was one of the players that I want the Knicks to go after. But for the cost, if we're talking about pick 15 through 30 and Cam Reddish and Archie Diacono and Svi, you're talking about 3 NBA players and a first-round pick for Josh Hart. I think it's going to be one of those moves that we look back on it, and if the Knicks make the playoffs and make some noise, we're going to look at it as a great move. If the Knicks are a playing team and lose to, say, Atlanta, it's going to be one that we're going to be talking about fire Leon Rose until Leon Rose is fired.
Freezie, I don't think they're done.
They're
not done.
But explain. But here's the thing, though. Explain to me why. I mean, not being done is one thing. Explain to us what not being done means. Does it mean they're going for it?
Not being done mean they're going for it?
Or does it mean they're reinforcing the future?
Not being done meaning they're going for it.
Okay.
And they're not done trading.
Okay.
They're not finished. The Knicks are not finished. There's no way in the world that the Knicks are telling you they let these players go. For all the reasons that you just said, Freezie, is the reason why they're not done. Go ahead.
So they're going for it.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Okay. Hey, Queen, how you doing?
I'm good. Can you guys hear me? I got a
loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Okay. I got a new little jammy Freezie. This is what you need on the. This is what you need on the road.
Fancy.
A little USB mic for when I'm on the road like you. I have the same issues.
Yeah.
Freezie, I hear what you're saying, but I think that's the case with any trade, right? Whereas like a year or two down the line, you look at it and be like, didn't work out. That was the wrong move, or that was a great move. It remains to be seen. Sometimes it's not about making the right decision. It's about making the decision right. And that has a lot to do with what the Knicks do after this decision. But as far as are they going for it? I mean, you mean like, I don't know. You could say Josh Hart is going for it. Like, had they brought in Durant, I would be like, yeah, they going for it. I don't know if you could say they're going for it if they bring in Josh Hart.
Right.
But what I think,
I don't really view Josh Hart as a.
Hold on, Mets. Hold on. Let her finish.
All right. Sorry. Go ahead.
But what I do think is happening is they're doubling down on the direction, just in case people weren't clear. See, I was clear at the draft. When they traded off those draft picks and brought in Brunson, I said, okay, I see what the Knicks are doing. They're playing the young guys, don't get me wrong, but they're trying to win, and they're playing them. Now they're bringing in Josh Hart. To me, they just doubling down on where they're trying to go, which is shaping this team into a championship contender. It depends. It could be quickly if they get a star. It could be more slowly, if they don't. So what I don't want to hear from anybody is how so-and-so is taking somebody else's spot. It's about the Knicks or time. It's about the New York Knicks. It's not about any particular player on this team. Are the Knicks better?
Okay.
That move definitely made
us better. Mets had something.
I kind of agree with you on this, where I don't view Josh Hart as more of a going for it here and now. It's more of a long-term decision. Is that what you were getting at, Queen?
Right. Yeah, like you got to come harder than that if you're going for it.
Well, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. And Queen B, I appreciate you taking it easy on the panel and not coming in, going across people's head in the panel. I appreciate you.
I'm smoothing out, Freezie. I'm smoothing out.
Tonight, just one night only. This is a one night only, everybody. So don't get used to it. But
you sound like Evan Fournier.
But here's the thing. Yeah, here's the thing, y'all. you don't invest a first round pick in a role player randomly, especially when that role player can hit free agency. So you don't just give away the pick, because if you trade the pick, because if it was just those three players for Josh Hart, I'd have been like, okay. But the Knicks had to entice Portland to move, and the enticement was the draft pick compensation, right? Here's the thing. Why is it that important for the Knicks to get Josh Hart if he's not going to help them achieve something, right? So this move for Josh Hart, in my opinion, is not Evel Knievel jumping over the Grand Canyon. This move is the ramp that's set up for Evel Knievel to jump across the Grand Canyon, in my opinion, right? And so if you've ever seen Evel Knievel is going for it, right? And so what I'm saying is I like the fact that Knicks fans are heavily invested in this move, but I don't want to constantly shuffle around our conversations to fit a narrative. Like we could, like 2 hours ago, we couldn't be valuing all of our draft picks, right? Like, no, we're not gonna. I wouldn't trade. No, I'm not trading anything for a first round pick for OG Anunoby. And then when a trade is announced, and this is a part of it, then say, well, Josh Hart is a great player, and so what is 7 players for 1? As a Knicks fan, I want to do a service first of all to myself, and then to other Knicks fans, because a 7 for 1 trade for Josh Hart just seems like a lot, right? And even if it's 4 for 1, for Josh Hart, that still sounds like a lot, especially when one of those players is a first round pick. You see what I'm getting at? Like, I don't dislike Josh Hart. I don't dislike the pursuit of Josh Hart.
You're talking about the package to get him.
Yeah.
Much like what they were saying about OG. You know, OG would be a good move here, but for what Toronto asking is too much. If you ask for that, you guys to give me at least a star back at the minimum.
Right.
You know what I mean? For that. Right. And I say this, that Josh Hart move, I don't think he opts out of that contract. I mean, Josh Hart at this point, he's not going to be. We know that. He's not. Where is he going to go?
But the Knicks can re-sign him though.
And then this is the thing too, Queen. Tibbs wanted him, and I saw him on the Jason Reddick podcast, and he was talking about it, and he was talking glowingly about Tibbs. So it's mutual. What the word I'm looking like? Mutual investment, admiration type. So he's not. And then the thing is, the Knicks with the right moves this offseason, because that's why I said today on D's show, man, I can't wait till the end of the season. That's what I can't wait for.
Right.
Because that's when the Knicks gonna really get busy, and people getting attached to players, you're gonna get your heart broke.
Right.
Because I know one right now that probably gonna be going off of this team. And he's a starter. I'll give you a hint on that one. He's a starter. And he's in his 4th year.
I agree.
Because this the thing. You got Julius Randle and Brunson humming. What we waiting on as a Knicks fan base? For somebody between Grimes and that other guy to solidify that third option. The third option is not solidified. Right. And we all know, I'm telling you, I'm keeping my eyes open on Phoenix. If they mess around and don't make any noise this summer, if they don't go anywhere, we know they're in trouble. That thing more likely gonna get blown up. If they don't get Durant, because that's what it's looking like they're trying to get Durant. If they don't get Durant, that could be a player the New York Knicks go for. And you imagine Brunson with Randall and Booker. Oh man, come on, pick your poison. And what Josh Hart is actually going to do is just solidify that bench role.
Right.
That's what I'm looking at. It's the off season. That's where the Knicks really going to go for it.
Yeah. I'm just putting in the link that he does have a player option. People are saying in the chat he doesn't. But Freezie, I hear what you're
I was
saying.
researching that. I was looking for that.
Yeah, I think I Sports Track. I hear what you're saying about the 7 players, but you can't count the lint in the back of the pocket though. Like you can't count. You know, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but we're talking about, first of all, the Knicks traded their first round draft picks, right? Let alone for what might be 4 seconds. Even a first. Do you think the Knicks would have kept the first? The Knicks are not keeping any of these draft picks. They're just not. There's no way for them to play.
True.
Svi and Ryan, I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Archie Diacono.
They weren't getting any time. You wouldn't have been able to get anything for those players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm more concerned about giving up the first round pick and he doesn't resign. But those second, Svi and Archie Diacono, like I'm not even worrying about though. I'm not even worrying about Cam. Cam didn't have that much value around the league.
Exactly.
He didn't have that much value. Now we can argue about whether the Knicks was a part of that, but he didn't have a lot of value around the league. And I do think there's another move coming. Go ahead.
And I say this for Cam, I'm happy for Cam. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, because what I said what Cam did is what Obi needs to do. Cam people went to the Knicks and told him, get me out of here. Get me out of here, because what's gonna happen if Cam don't get out of here and try to show his worth that he can be a starting level guy, you know what's gonna be his next contract. He's gonna be a role guy. Cam is not comfortable with just saying, okay, I'm accepting being a role guy. And we got a guy on this team right now that's a hometown favorite in Obi. And I've been saying this. If Obi's smart, he'll go do the same thing. Tell Leon to get him up out of here. Because the way Julius Randle is playing, ain't happening for him. And he's getting older. He needs to ask for a trade. And truth be told, he's not a tips guy. He's not a tips guy. This team, the identity is shifting to defense first.
And let me ask this question. Didn't Leon Rose say that after he got fleeced out of both first-round draft picks in the last draft, that he was trying to build this team through draft picks, through the draft, and now he's reneging on that by shipping out about half of the draft picks we have going for the next several years going forward for just one role player? What a hypocrite!
Well, you still got 10 first-round picks in the next so many years?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And listen, this is all politics anyway. They had RJ in a trade that morning, and then that afternoon they signed him and talking about how they trying to build around him. So listen, don't put too much stock in what they're saying. Look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
If the Knicks were trying to build young and build through the draft or whatever, then why are you trading your 2 first-round draft picks? Why are you signing Brunson? Give quickly the job. Draft one of those young cats and go that way. So a grain of salt on what Leon Rose is saying. Look at what he's doing.
Yeah. I believe you more in your actions than what you say.
Right. I'm with y'all on part of the argument, but if we're gonna be real about who Svi Mikhailuk is and who Ryan Arcidiacono is and who Cam Reddish is, we need to be absolutely real about who Josh Hart is. Is Josh Hart a top 100 player in the NBA? No. Is Josh Hart top 150? No. Right? Let's be like, if we're gonna attach like a letter grade to the guys off our bench on who they are, then we need to do the same thing for Josh Hart. Is Josh Hart a decent player? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm coaching the Knicks and I have Josh Hart and Quentin Grimes side by side, who am I starting?
I'm starting the younger guys. Grimes.
Yeah,
I'm starting Grimes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because ultimately, Quentin Grimes does the same things that Josh Hart does at a higher level. And I hate to say it, like I'm not trying to bust no bubbles, but why would I trade 7 players for a guy that's going to come off my bench?
Freezie, I think you overemphasizing the 7 players, but we're gonna rock with you. We're gonna rock with you. You could put all of those.
Man.
You could put all those guys together, other than Cam, and none of them are valuable.
Not the second round picks and the first round picks.
All
right?
of them.
I don't want to put the second round picks in the first.
And none of them are as valuable to this team as Josh Hart is going to be when he gets here. And you'll have to see.
Yeah, we have to see.
You're going to have to see. And keep in mind, he started every game for Portland. He didn't come off the bench. He started every game. Right. And the only reason I would start Grimes is because of the shooting. Josh Hart is not having a good shooting year.
Yeah,
but
his
in terms of
percentage is down.
Right. But as far as rebounding, defending, and whatever, he's better than Grimes.
The guy got averaging right at 9 rebounds a game.
Come on, he's better than Grimes right now in all of the other areas except for shooting. And Grimes' shooting is inconsistent, which is fine. He's a second-year player. Right. It's to be expected.
Yeah, and don't get many shots.
Right. But listen, sometimes a guy, it's like chemistry. It's like you baking that cake, what have you, that ain't coming together till you put that baking soda in it. And that's what, and that's what it is for Josh Hart, in my opinion. He's a connector. You'll see.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see.
I don't disagree with the connector part.
His defense is going to be what, that's the thing for me. The move signifies to me that the front office and the coach is finally on the same sheet of music. That's a Tibbs pick all the way. Ain't nobody gonna tell me that ain't a Tibbs pick. That's Tibbs. That has Tibbs on it. And that's for me. For one time, I could say, you know what? The coach and the front office on the same sheet of music. Because think about it. When they went and got Cam, Tibbs did not want Cam. Period. He didn't want him. And they went and got him anyway.
Right. Okay. What I'm getting at is Josh Hart is a ham sandwich.
Where do we got the cheese?
Hey, is it with cheese?
Stop trolling, Freezie.
That's what he is.
Stop trolling.
Right? And I would play
Freezer, the dry ham sandwich, man. No mayonnaise, no,
not Tuesday lunch at the calf ham sandwich. I'm talking about you know what I'm saying, Subway, maybe even Panera, but it's still pork and bread together.
Freezer, you gotta get a man a chance with this team, man. I'm
not diminishing him. I'm not diminishing. What I'm saying is, let's always like what it is, and I feel like Queen might be a little guilty of this right now in this moment. Mm-hmm. And it's this, and I say this respectfully, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Our excitement for action sometimes puts us in a place where we put value on something that if the action never happened, the value would never have been raised, right? Like if we never traded for Josh Hart, we wouldn't be talking about glowingly about Josh Hart.
Oh, right? I was always a Josh Hart fan. I liked him.
Notice I said
for us.
I'm talking about glowingly. Like I like Josh Hart too, right? I'm not putting Josh Hart in this thing yet, though. I'm not. I like
but
Josh
nobody
Hart.
is doing that, Freezie. I don't think I'm
doing
that.
So that's not how anybody is doing that. A 7-for-1.
No, I ain't. Freezie.
But Freezie, you getting a lint out the. You can't count. I mean, those guys was nothing.
Rui Hachimura went for less. Well, who would y'all have preferred, Rui Hachimura or
Washington was not trading?
Every trade ain't created equal. But Freezer, I got a question for you.
Yeah, I know.
I got a good question for you, and for the panel, everybody.
Okay.
Hey, let's say the New York Knicks mess around and go trade for OG tonight, between now and the trade deadline, or Sadiq Bey. What that signals to you? If one of those two guys come in.
that they are going for it.
Well, I'll tell you what it signals to me, and this is what I've said already. I would be shocked if RJ Barrett is on this team next season. Shocked. I would be shocked.
Same wavelength, Queen.
July 1st, I believe, is when that poison pill expires and they can trade him. And I would be shocked if he is on the team.
Listen, I know y'all go.
I
know y'all go to a bunch of games, right? I try to make as many as I can. But the buzz in the arena when RJ Barrett is present
in Toronto,
it anywhere, it was like that in Orlando last night. The announcer in Spectrum Center, what do they call it? Amway Center. Amway Center. RJ Barrett was 1 for 10. And we were laughing like, dang, RJ taking his broke game on the road. We were laughing at RJ, right? And RJ Barrett hits a 3, right? And the PA announcer said, 3-point basket, RJ Barrett. And I looked around and I was like, where are we in the Garden?
Well, you know he got ties to that area too.
He does. He went to school 24 miles away.
Yeah.
Right. But what I'm saying is that don't happen with Josh Hart. Josh Hart can play in Villanova, and they're not gonna show Josh Hart no love like that.
Yeah,
but what does that mean though? We're talking about basketball.
That question.
It means a player's value is not just what you see on the court. A player has an overall value, and he has an overall value to the Knicks, right?
So you think they wouldn't trade him to upgrade this team because he's getting cheered because he's popular?
Partly, yes.
Okay.
I think
that's like asking me is does politics exist in sports?
Yes,
absolutely.
It does exist in sports, but I don't think that the Knicks would keep if a trade came to make us better. It's hard for me to believe that they're gonna hold on to RJ Barrett for political reasons.
And this is the thing. This is the thing for me.
Hard to believe. I'm not saying it won't happen. It's hard to believe.
This is the thing for me, Queen. When I heard that they were looking at him, and when they were looking at Grayson Allen, when they were looking at OG and Grayson Allen, I was like, I already saw through it. I said the Knicks are signaling that they're gonna move off of RJ because there's no way you're gonna bring Sadiq Bey here. I mean not Sadiq, but OG, and put him in a lineup with RJ. That doesn't work. If you're gonna get OG, Grimes is not being traded. Grimes will fit perfectly because OG is a slasher, and that's all RJ is because RJ is not a shooter, and I don't think, my goodness, the way he shoots, he'll ever be one.
But Ron, to your point, have the Knicks acquired OG Anunoby yet?
Hey, it remains to be seen.
But is RJ Barrett still here?
Yeah, but you know what though? The honeymoon is wearing off with Tibbs. If you notice, Tibbs starting to bench him now.
More frequently, yeah, I'm starting to notice it.
Yeah. Tibbs benched RJ Barrett the other day in the fourth quarter, and
that wasn't the only time.
Right. And you know what happened the very next game? He played RJ Barrett for a quarter and a half straight, did no breaks, back to back, making up to RJ Barrett. And the thing about it is and I understand where we're going, but we got to be consistent with the way that we, parse the participles here. It's like we point out the fact that he was benched, but we didn't point out the fact that the very next game, Tibbs played that man 12 straight first quarter minutes and 6 straight second quarter minutes, back to back, no breaks, right? Letting us know like RJ, hey bro, my bad. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, Freezie. I still don't think he's not going to be. I don't think that means he won't ever get traded.
Just the way they did him. Just the way they.
But I hear what you're saying.
But you can't say that about any player. No player is never going to be traded off of any roster. No player can feel secure in that way. No player. I don't care who it is.
Freezie, the only player right now that I can say really, before we got Brunson, the only secure player was Julius Randle. Let's think about this now. Julius Randle, we know the optics on Julius Randle wasn't good coming into this season. Man, we all thought for the most part, if you poll this whole fan base, the majority of this fan base thought Julius Randle was going to be traded after this past season went. Julius Randle,
I'm a consistent Randle supporter.
Yeah, I hear you.
And it's because
I'm talking about how the fan base was looking at it from what was going on. The
it's
Knicks never,
free agents don't
never,
come here
as a
and
front office,
thrive.
Freezie, they
And
never
Randle
implied.
came here, and free agents
But
don't
Freezie,
come
I'm trying
here
to make
and
a point,
thrive.
though. I'm just trying to make a point right quick, and so you can get a comparison. The Knicks, as an organization, never implied that they was going to trade Julius Randle this offseason. There was the fans talking about that.
Okay.
But we all know what transpired with RJ. When all his fellow compadres was getting those extensions, was eligible, they got the extension. RJ didn't get it. Why? Because they were trying to get Donovan Mitchell to replace him. And when that Donovan Mitchell stuff blew up, then they circled wagons back to RJ, gave him that extension, and then penned that fake love letter. So that's what I'm saying.
Right. So they already showed a propensity, a willingness.
They're not truly invested in RJ. They're not.
Okay.
I'm gonna hop out and let Smoking Nick back in. I'm getting all tired. If you guys
I mean, I guess what I hear Ron saying is they've already shown a willingness to trade him.
Yeah, they already showed it.
All right. Let me see. Okay.
But Julius Randle, I'm gonna tell you, Freezie. Julius Randle right now for me. That boy's
I'm only putting him in a trade for a star.
That boy's a monster. That boy's a monster.
On the I'm not letting you off the Josh Hart thing that easy. Because I heard what you were saying. I heard you. Yeah, but yeah, man, I honestly think that there may be a subsequent move, right?
Yeah.
And so while it seems as if I'm hating on the Josh Hart move, just understand I started out excited. And I started out as a 10, and all I'm saying is that I'm a 5, but I have my stake in the ground at a 5. I'm not saying that I hate Josh Hart. What I'm saying is that I'm at a 5 on it.
Yeah.
And if you're a 6 on it, a 7 on it, an 8 on it, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with it. I respect that.
I'm just excited for what comes next.
Yeah, I'm a 5 on it with the mindset that sometime tonight, early morning, another move is going to be announced. I don't think it's one of those moves that's going to take all day, because if it's one of those moves that it's going to take all day, if there's any uncertainty, I don't think they would have did this move for Josh Hart.
I agree with you 100%. I think it's something else coming. It's something else.
Yeah, especially being that he has a player option.
Yeah,
right.
And if we gave up 7 players, don't we have to replace some of them?
Yeah.
Right. But you can do that after it's a trade deadline, not a transaction deadline.
Right. And you
all I'm saying is we gave up 3 people on the active roster, got 1 person back on the active roster. So we still got to replace those other 2 players that we gave up.
Right.
So,
but you don't have to replace them in a trade, though.
No, I'm not saying a trade. You could get free agency or still moves to be made. You don't have to necessarily give up a player to get a player back.
Yeah, and to your point, Smoking Nick, that's why I think they're gonna get at least 1, because since Leon been here, Leon has always had 1 open spot since he's been here. The Knicks have never had a full roster with Leon.
I just think I like the move. I don't think it's all world beating. No, I just think it solidifies the team in other areas when other players ain't doing what they need to do. You know what I mean? Like somebody to actually, pair up, because I'm not pointing no fingers at anybody. It just like if the responsibility has been lessened in your hands, that means you should be performing better. And as Ron Cleveland said before, we ain't gonna say no names. But if people take responsibility out your hands because they realize that you have too much, and they give you a little responsibility and you still can't excel in that with that a little bit of responsibility, then it may be time to move on.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, it hurt me to my core, because I'm gonna tell you, I remember I had a shirt, but that fella, it hurt me to my core. I'm gonna tell you no lie, it hurts, because if that third spot, man, y'all know how many more wins we would have had if we had a consistent third option on this team? And I ain't talking about people say, well, the president consistent because they get points. I ain't talking about the points. I'm talking about being efficient. Because Julius Randle and Brunson, them boys are efficient. You know what I mean? We need one more efficient person in that starting lineup. And shout out to Quickly, man. Shout out to Quickly.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing I will say is Tyler Hero had a really bad season and rebounded the next season. So it's possible that RJ is just struggling, trying to find his role with Brunson and Randall, and he's going to bounce back next season. It's possible.
You know, you're right. You're right. It's possible, but I got to look at evidence and the body of evidence.
It's also possible that I could wake up with wings tomorrow and jump off my building and fly, right? But the likeliness of that happening, I wouldn't put my money on in Vegas, right? Which I'm very close to. All I'm saying is that the evidence is pretty out on your mans and them, right? And I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm saying in general.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Grimes.
What you say, Ron?
Yeah, either one of those guys can if they can just take over that be that third consistent guy.
But he has so many, and I'm not trying to devolve the conversation. After so many opportunities, right? You was the point guard, the shooting guard, the first option, second option, third. Now you're the third option, and you still not. I don't know what to do with you. Where did we come to where I don't know what to do with you?
I tell you what, if he had Queen up there as that third option right now, and Julius, right. I guarantee you she'll be consistent. I guarantee you.
At least she go 5 for 10 from the field. It won't
I guarantee 4
for 18.
Freezie, I put you out there in that third option, playing off them guys the way they're cooking right now and commanding attention.
Yeah, man.
Freezie getting at least 12 rebounds every night.
That's the thing.
Yeah, well, the thing is, man, I understand where y'all coming from, and I want to be down. I want to be on y'all side. I just can't, bro. I just can't. I just can't get in that whip with y'all, bro.
You're a Duke man too, so I know that's your man. Yeah, man. I'm still mad, but that long.
Yo, Freezie, why we should be smiling, not frowning. What's the problem, bro?
As a Duke, he a Duke man.
The RJ slander.
He's Duke man. He don't slander RJ.
But it's just real, Freezie. He's not playing well. I'm not saying he can't rebound, but he's just not playing well.
I didn't
levels.
RJ in the tone that I usually
or inconsistent. I would say inconsistent. Because some games he does play well.
Freezie, if I was to ask you right now, who's your most disappointing Knick right now this season?
Especially in the big three. Just to preface his question.
Thibodeau.
Stop that. Stop that, man. Stop that. Thibodeau got 30 wins.
The one Knick entity I'm disappointed in the most is Tom Thibodeau. And it's not because I like to bash the coach. Right? I just feel like Tibbs could have gotten more out of OB and Cam than he did this year. Right? In terms of RJ Barrett, it's my thing with RJ is the same that it's ever been. Pass the ball.
Yeah,
pass it.
You ain't
get your assist percentage up.
Yeah, stop shooting it when you ain't got it going. Get that ball to the other people.
Right, when teams know you going to the basket and you're not going to pass, they don't defend other players on the floor. They defend you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Pass the ball. Every now and then he'll throw a lob to Mitch. And then we think he Magic Johnson. Nah, man. Nah, man. I'm excited for the move that comes up after this. Like, I think this is step. Yeah, I think this is step A. I'm excited for step B and C. Because they can't tell me that we waited this long to trade for Josh Hart. Nobody better not tell me that they gave up 7 players and a first round pick for Josh Hart.
I'm with you on that when you look at value.
Because think about it. If they would have just played, if they would have just played Cam, right? If they would have just played Cam Reddish, he would have probably put up similar numbers to what Josh Hart is doing right now, probably outside of the rebound numbers. Everything else, Cam Reddish.
Though.
Huh?
I don't think it's about points, Freezie. I think it's also about fit. And every coach has a type of player that they want to play for them. You look around the league, everybody wants to point at Thibodeau. You look around the league, there's players on benches throughout the NBA that are not playing for a particular coach that would play for another coach.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we talk about how Tibbs getting on Tibbs, he's not playing the young guys. Book night. Charlotte has like 15 wins.
Right.
Where's Book Night? Where's all of these other,
JT Thor,
Johnny
Kai Jones, all them dudes.
Davis from Wisconsin.
Yeah,
for Washington. He not even in the rotation. He was a top 10 pick. I mean, I'm just saying we get on the Knicks and we get on Tibbs, and what's happening here is happening all over the NBA. You got it. Go ahead, Ron.
And guess what? To your point, Queen. If the Knicks make the playoffs this year, which I truly expect them to make the playoffs, make no mistake about it, ain't gonna be no playing. It's gonna be playoffs. Tom Thibodeau would be 2 playoffs out of the last 3 years. Let that sink in.
Yeah, but the thing is I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining about Tom Thibodeau
to make the playoffs in that fashion. And then not only that, to have a guy on the roster that's 2-time All-Star in Julius Randle.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about Tibbs not playing the kids. I've always supported Tibbs playing the kids, right? I always point out that he plays Grimes, McBride, Quickly, R.J. Sims. So I'm not saying that he's not playing the kids. That's not what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is maybe lost to the thing. What I'm saying is Josh Hart is not putting this team over the top. Period.
No, he just solidified it. Helped solidify the bench a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But who's putting us over the top? OG doesn't put us over the top.
No.
Yeah.
Just makes the
until you get it a little better.
Yeah.
Step by step, piece by piece. Until you get that start, that's what's putting you over the top. But we can't just sit here and hold our hands waiting for him to come over the rainbow. We still got to improve the team.
Right.
Hey, Steph, you know I keep saying I'm waiting for the end of the season, right? Mm-hmm. I was saving this one in the holster. You know what I'm waiting on for the offseason? I'm going to tell y'all one person, and I said this before, Freezer, a while back, if you remember.
Okay.
I'm waiting to see what happened with Jaylen Brown.
I thought you meant Kawhi Leonard. I thought you were going to say Kawhi Leonard.
No, Jaylen Brown, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Boston is playing with fire. You dangle that man name out there in a trade this past offseason for KD. You didn't get KD. That man was mad about it. Now you're dangling his name again. And if they don't get KD, this man is an unrestricted free agent. I repeat, unrestricted. Not restricted, unrestricted.
Right.
You get him and bring him here. Now the Knicks cooking with hot fish grease on Friday.
He's unrestricted this summer?
He's unrestricted this summer.
2024, right?
This summer. Unrestricted.
So he's not
2023.
He's not going to sign an extent like they were in negotiating, or
there's no extension signed yet. So
he restricted. He has a thing in his contract. The same. Hey, you know what? I'll explain it like this. He's got the Jalen Brunson issue.
Okay.
Where the team can offer only a certain amount and it's below market value, and everybody knows.
Okay.
So he can opt out basically.
Yeah.
And you know he ain't taking less. You've been playing with me. And we all know that that guy's prideful. And I know somebody who know him personally, went to school with him.
Right.
So I'm telling you, that's the move, Queen. That's the move.
Right.
We talking about a Tom Thibodeau type player.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect move. That's why I'm keeping my eyes on this summer too.
Yeah, that 2023 pick is our number 1 pick. So something has to be coming up. I agree, Freezie. Something has to be coming down the pack. Would you
trade your first round pick this year for Josh Hart, Cam Reddish, and whatever it is?
Not in this particular draft.
No,
maybe another draft.
In another draft, right?
But not in this particular draft.
You feel me? Yeah.
I wouldn't even consider Cam. To me, Cam is dead. But I mean, even a first for Josh Hart straight up right now. I don't know if I would do it in this particular draft.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then the alternative being 4 seconds.
But we got about 30 of those though.
Yeah, we got. Hey, Freezie, what you always say with them second round picks?
How many players in this draft is really solidified to where we can't bolster our team right now?
Right. Yeah. But listen, the Knicks had the 14th pick and traded it.
And then that's another thing. We got so many picks the Knicks can maneuver moving up and down that board. You know what I mean? Hey, we put said player in a trade with some picks so we can move up and snatch somebody.
Yeah. I just think it's Nah, you don't in this type of draft, bro. You don't take gambles like in the 1996 draft. You don't take gambles. Yeah, you mess around and well, if I can't get Iverson, I don't want nobody. And then you mess around and Steve Nash, Kobe, Stojakovic, Jermaine O'Neal, all them dudes, Ray Allen.
You playing with my emotions right now, man? Right? Like that's what I feel like you do. I have to say it. You serious?
Yeah,
you can't be serious right now.
And this draft right here is similar to that, where at the top you have a bona fide generational talent, but after him you have multiple potential all-stars, like 8 potential all-stars, and then 20 very good players and 30 starters. You know what I'm saying? So you can't this draft here, you can't really.
Yeah. But we still have Dallas pick, but I would have gave up Dallas pick and kept ours just with Kyrie going there.
They didn't want that. For that reason, they probably didn't want Dallas pick though.
But you know what I was saying.
Come on now, don't act like you sitting on and I like Josh Hart. Don't get me wrong, but don't act like you sit. That's why I think something else is coming down the pipe that the Knicks
else got to be coming.
Important enough for them to do to free up them spots.
Well, kudos to them too for freeing Cam. That you never want to play on your roster that don't want to be there. That ain't a good look in a player that you're holding down. And even Derrick Rose, the Derrick Rose situation still got to play out because there's report Milwaukee want him. So who knows what become of that situation? And Derrick Rose had been too much to this league for Derrick Rose to just be sitting on that bench, man.
And it's funny he wasn't in the trade.
Go ahead and move that guy, man.
Yeah, I would love to have done Derrick Rose and Cam
somewhere
for Hart, but Derrick Rose makes too much money.
And
nah.
Over Fee and Mahai?
No.
Yeah.
Or you're not getting that from them. I'm sorry. Over Fee and who was the other? I'm sorry, I was saying his first name and last name. Sorry.
Archie
over
Diacono.
And who?
Archie Diacono.
And Archie Diacono? You would have traded. We basically traded 3 players. That's it. Them second round draft picks ain't nothing because we know we going to the playoffs.
Yeah, smoke. But when you allow people to finish, you hear the whole answer. You know what I'm saying? When you cut people off, you don't hear everything, bro. What I was saying is I would have rather have included Derrick Rose, given more value, and not included the draft picks, period. Or not even have a first on the table. That's what I was trying to get to. I would have rather have given them straight up 2 second-round picks in Derrick Rose than giving up the first-round pick in this draft because of the things that we were saying about the Allen Iverson draft, where if you all I want is AI, I don't want AI, nothing else. And then Kobe and Nash and O'Neal and Marbury and Allen and Stojakovic and all them names in that draft. You know what I'm saying? That's my preference, but that's not what happened. So,
No,
I think tomorrow and going forward, I think Knicks fans are going to realize what we actually paid for Josh Hart, and the excitement of the deal is going to wear off. And once we hear Stephen A. Smith get a hold to this deal right here, Knicks fans are going to hate Stephen A. Smith for saying that Josh Hart is not worth 7 players, and it's going to be one of those things that Stephen A. Smith actually right this time.
It's not 7 players yet, but it is a first round. That's even worse. a protected first.
I'm assuming that the Knicks are making the playoffs. That's why I keep saying.
Yeah, they're gonna make the playoffs. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah,
they're gonna make the playoffs.
Okay, gotcha.
They better go. I tell you that. Hey, even your dog, even Benny agree with that statement.
Josh Hart gonna start, right?
We
Josh
better
Hart
go
start,
to the playoffs.
Start Hart.
Now, Freezer, now see, you just opened up a can of worms. You took my mind in a whole different direction. If the Knicks do all this and we don't make the playoffs,
well,
yeah, I knew I stumped you with that one in it.
I don't know. I'm still no. I know. I'm thinking like so. Ron, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I think we also need to think about tonight, right? We need to think about this right now. If we bring in Josh Hart, who may be a starter, that gives you 5 starters and 2 guys on the bench that should be starting, and Grimes and Quickly should be starting somewhere, right? The next move has to be for an impact guy, not at shooting guard.
And that's why I think it's something else coming, because my thing is I always circle back to this offseason, right? When you didn't put Grimes in that trade for Spider, right? You signaled to the whole fan base that Grimes going in that starting line, period. He's going in that starting line. So now
that's not where I was going with it. But
you took me there. You see what I'm saying? You took me there, because if they go that route, they have to be bringing in something in here, because you can't justify.
I don't want to speak to
going
something.
To the
I'm gonna tell you. I know what it is, Ron. I know what it is. I'm going to tell you. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
Go ahead.
I think they're gonna include R.J. Barrett in the OG Anunoby trade tomorrow.
Ooh. You may be on something.
Yeah.
Unless you got to have cap space to absorb his contract. Unless they get off of Siakam and Fleet and all of those guys, how are they going to absorb his contract? They got to absorb $23 million.
No, they don't. R.J. Barrett don't make $32 million. R.J. Barrett,
he makes 10, but that's the poison pill
this year.
That's the poison pill,
right? The poison pill. The poison pill thing. Kicks in I think it kicks in at a certain date. You can't do it this year, though the extension was signed this year.
Right.
But for this NBA season, you got to hurry up and get rid of RJ, or then the escalator, because it's going to be 26 point something that he makes in base salary, and the poison pill thing, which makes it all out to be like $33 million. That's from my understanding of it. So if you're going to trade him, you have to trade him this year. Before
you need to make the move before it kick in.
Unless I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, somebody let me know.
Yeah, I think with the poison, you can trade him. It's difficult because the Knicks can only take back 10.8, and the team that's trading for him has to have enough to cover the 23.8 million of his salary. That's what makes it difficult to trade. Now, which team? Brooklyn could have done it. Like, say we was making a trade for KD because Brooklyn had the cap space.
Okay.
They could have did it. They could have absorbed his 23.8, but the other team has to take back 23.8. We can only take back 10.
That's what makes it hard. And they got Van Vliet connected to the Clippers. They were saying Van Vliet. The Clippers was looking at getting Van Vliet.
But the RJ thing though, so there is no RJ for OG Anunoby trade that could be done, even though their salaries are similar.
Right.
It can be done if you finagle it and you add certain players to where we're taking back 10 and they're just absorbing his contract.
But I don't think they have space though.
They don't have space. That's
the issue.
It can be created.
They have to get real creative between now and
it can be created.
Yeah, they would have to get real creative. So, boy, Freezer, that.
But July 1st is over. I think it's July 1st.
Yeah. So okay. So maybe RJ
end of the season
because of the poison pill thing. Okay.
Right. So and maybe that's why they try to get OG now and then move off of RJ in the summer if they can.
Well, we know he's a fan favorite over there.
Okay. Okay.
I've never seen somewhere in any NBA arena where the team player gets praise like he's on the starting lineup for the home team. I've never
Yeah.
seen it.
Hey, well, you should have been in Orlando last night then.
They did the same thing.
To RJ Barrett. And yes, when I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, they did the same thing.
Wow.
Right.
You know
And to an
too far from
extent,
Durham.
and then to an extent, they were trying to do it in Atlanta, but I think Atlanta was pumping in crowd noise to try to drown out Knicks fans.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man.
David L said all the Raptors have to do is drop $6 million. He's like, yo, it's doable. All they gotta do is drop $6 million.
Right. Yeah, that means all we had to do was take on Otto Porter Jr. contract.
10.8.
Yeah. Take on Otto Porter Jr. and then this, but I don't know. So should I do the? All right, so I don't want to do the X-Files, the tinfoil hat conspiracy theory thing with RJ and him and his seat this contentious year after being included in the trade for Donovan Mitchell. But we have 5 people. We have about 7 people that we feel like can start. And if we do an improvement, that's got to be better than Josh Hart. That means we're improving one of the starting spots. So which one is it? Because the next deal has to be better than this one, or more impactful. I ain't gonna say better.
Right.
More impactful than this one.
Right.
If it's anybody defensively, RJ is a liability. Offensively, he's sporadic. So just answering your question, offensively, he is a benefit when he decides to show up, but defensively, he's always a liability.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Good point.
It's possible. I don't see RJ coming out the starting lineup though. It's possible if they do pick up somebody, it could be RJ and that guy, and you can have in the second unit quickly Grimes and iHeart. Because there's nothing to say that Grimes has to stay. I mean, I would pick Grimes over iHeart only because he's shooting better this year. But if you bring in like a 6'9" wing or something like that, would I love a Grimes and whoever that wing is? Yes. I don't think the Knicks are going to do it.
Yeah, the problem is that contract. If RJ didn't get that contract, that's where the optics come in, because you just signed this guy and now you putting him on the bench after you wrote that love letter.
Yeah. And you just gave up 7 players for Josh Hart. This front office is going to look wonderful. You bench an extension guy and then give up 7 players for Josh Hart. It's going to look wonderful in the papers. So, but the next guy, I don't know. I don't know. Thinking about who
I kind of feel it's going to be Sadiq Bey.
Oh, but the Sadiq, but man, I want Sadiq, man.
But he's not shooting that. How tall is Sadiq Bey? Let me see.
6'8".
6'7".
Oh, he's 6'8". Okay, that changes everything. But the thing about
he's only 23.
His shooting hasn't been that great this season, though.
No, and they are awful. They was kicking around. I thought I was watching soccer earlier when I was watching them. I was watching them against the Cavs. They was kicking the ball around. I thought Pele was out there. I know what I was looking at.
He's 6'7". I think RJ is 6'7" too, right? I don't think he's 6'6".
They say 6'6", but he looked like he's 6'7".
Yeah,
RJ tall. They underestimate his height.
Yeah, he look like he's 6'7".
We got 2 heartbeats now. We got iHeart and Josh Hart, man. You feel me?
we need a few more.
No cardiac arrest. Man. No cardiac arrest. We got 2 heartbeats now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you though, the Knicks really. I got to give Tom his credit on this, because I'm gonna tell you, the minute Mitch went down, I thought our season was over with. The fact the Knicks are even playing.
You didn't, Rod.
Oh, I thought it was over with. The minute he went down for the Knicks to even be playing 500 ball, man, it's really shocking. It's really shocking to me. Even with no Mitch and the struggling RJ, the Knicks is playing pretty good basketball.
If you ask me, it's get on my back Randall, and now we got get on my back Brunson. Come on, man.
Oh yeah.
There was no way. No way.
But the loss of Mitch is felt though. It's felt because you see players coming in driving their Ferraris and parking it all up in their garage.
They coming in there getting a 2-piece from Popeyes and then just
I mean they having dinner and everything, doing what they want to do. I miss Mitch, man. I'm gonna tell you, I miss that dude. I like Sims, but Sims ain't Mitch.
Right.
No, Sims still got some growing. He got some growing.
Yeah.
He struggled with length.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm puzzled. I'm perplexed, y'all. I don't see what the other
Forget
move
about
is.
Obi. But go ahead.
You know that,
So what-
I'm gonna tell you what I think about Obi.
What about the other move though? You got another move?
Listen, I think Fournier is going to be hard to move.
Yeah, he's staying.
He's going to be hard, but we still got Derrick Rose, and don't forget Obi Toppin. He's eligible for an extension. If you're not going to extend him, well, you don't have to do it right now. You could do it in the summer. It's not like you have to do it right now.
Yeah, you have a whole nother year to work with Obi though. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Before he hit restricted free agency.
Yeah.
The Knicks need to trade
true.
Obi.
That's true.
The Knicks need to trade Obi, and I like Obi, but they need to trade him.
Okay.
They need to trade him.
Yeah, in the direction that we're going, he doesn't fit this year's team.
At all.
We're more of a 3 and D team. If our defense sustains and we hit a lot of threes, we win most of our games. But when we inconsistent offensively, and it's really because him as a 6'10" dude, he should be more physical, especially when you got the hops and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? His physicality is just not matching up. The same stuff we were saying about iHeart. You know what I mean?
Right.
But iHeart has been showing his physicality lately, and this is exactly what we need from Obi. We need you to get go out there and get how many rebounds he had last time? Oh no, that was iHeart that had the 15 rebounds. You see what I'm saying?
Obi had 6 rebounds the other night in just 13 minutes. His rebounds have been getting better. Listen,
you're 100% correct. It has been getting better, but that physicality is not on a nightly basis, and that's the problem. This is third year.
This is his third year.
Yeah, it's third year. Him and Quickly both.
I think the number one issue with Obi is that he's behind Randall.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can see little flashes in his game, that you can see the improvement, putting the ball on the floor, shooting off the dribble. Now, he's done it in flashes. That doesn't mean he's going to be able to do it consistently. But you see the little things he's added to his game, but he's playing behind Randall.
Yeah. And Tom,
how does Randall hinder his game?
Neither. That's another thing. So that's why you got to move him, man. Just if I'm Obi, man. I mean, common sense, man. I mean, I know you love being home. It's your hometown team more than likely. You grew up rooting for them. But man, if you want to look out for your career and you're trying to get paid, it ain't gonna happen with the Knicks, man.
I think the problem is we assume that just because these dudes show flashes of
That's true.
who we think they might be, that they're gonna get traded, go to a team, and then automatically get a starting job. That is not how it works, right? If you're not showing what you're supposed to be showing in practice, why would they trust you to do it in the game? A lot of people just skip over these basic facts when we know just because you show a couple flashes, there's a reason you're not getting the minutes you're getting, or a reason you're getting the minutes that you are getting. So we can't just skip over those facts, man. Randall is not in Obi's way. Obi's in his own way.
Well,
right.
Randall is in his way.
But Randall is in his.
Randall is that
roadblock. I'm just trying to be nice.
But I get what you say. I get what you're saying too.
I get what you're saying. but listen, this happens all the time. There's a young player is 2 young players is on the team, and you got to choose. Or the young player starts, coming into his own, and you got to choose between him and the vet. This happens all the time. Randall is young. He made 2 all-star teams, so they're choosing Randall.
Yeah.
But it happens all the time.
Randall made the choice easy.
You just made me think about Eddie George and Kobe Bryant.
is that a bad choice, Steph, to choose Randall?
No, not Eddie.
No,
Jones,
not at all.
Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones and
Kobe Bryant.
Right.
I
I'm not
don't
saying
think
it's.
that- I
I'm
don't
not
think
saying
that's
it's a
the
bad.
same
Actually,
comparison.
that's Eddie George.
though.
I'm not saying it's a bad choice.
It's
what
not
I'm
a bad
saying is-
comparison.
What I'm saying is we don't know who Obi is going to be. Sometimes you can, when you go to another team, you can be exposed.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you can go to another team and you could take off. It happens.
Yeah, it just depends on the situation. Like, you tell me right now, if Obi was to get traded to Detroit for Sadiq Bey, Obi can carve out a role over there because they're still trying to figure out what kind of team they're going to be. That team ain't got no. They still trying to figure out who they're going to be.
Right.
But you got to have that dog, and he don't got the dog. Yeah, he might got the fire and the hops and the athleticism, the God-given ability, but the dog.
Obi is a finesse player. He's a finesse.
There's a lot of finesse players in the league.
Yeah, he's a finesse. He's not a power. His game is not predicated on power. Even though you think with all that leaping ability that he would be a power player, but
that's why.
Then you got guys who can't jump, i.e. RJ, but he plays a power game.
Right. Okay.
How many people have
As
Obi jumped on
like
in the 3 years he's been in the league? How
He's
many people have
he's
he
a
jumped
power
on?
forward. His game is like a power forward.
Who? Obi?
No, RJ. His game is like a power forward.
Yeah, RJ. Yeah.
What you call him?
Josh
Baby
Hart
Randall.
too. Yeah, now we
Josh
got
Hart
another
is not like a power
We
forward.
just traded for another Randall. We just
Just
traded
saying
for
Josh Hart is like a power forward.
We just traded for a guard that can't shoot but rebounds.
So you think we just got another fourth power forward?
Right.
Because we always call Randall, Brunson, and RJ the same player.
Yeah.
Because I didn't pay attention.
And Grimes showed off a little. Right, and Grimes showed off a little bit of handles, and now they're trying to move him to the bench.
Hey, Freezie, you said when Queen said Baby Randall, right? I just pictured RJ with a pacifier in his mouth, man.
Yeah. He's a golden child.
Baby Randall.
And let me tell you something. If RJ doesn't pan out in this league, and I believe he will. He will. It's not because he wasn't given every single opportunity. And this is what I'm saying. Sometimes you get an organization and a coach that believe in you and force feed you, and you take off a little. You take off a little bit, and some guys don't get that opportunity. Look at Grimes. Grimes must have been blowing it up in practice. As soon as he came back, he went right to the starting lineup. Cam was out. I was like, what's going on here?
I don't think that's exactly what happened. What happened is the Mavericks game, and then whatever behind the scenes, Cam must have said something to Tibbs. Then they had that game against the Mavericks, and they was like, "Oh, you want to play?" Bench.
But even before that, he came in, he started.
Yeah,
and then he got injured, and he had to go. I said
the Golden State game.
And
I was like, he started. He just came back out injured.
He would start from his gut. If he would have never got hurt, he probably would have started.
Tibbs acted like Nino Brown when Nino Brown was talking to Christopher Williams, and he told him, "I never liked you anyway."
Yeah,
Genie Eaton.
Right. But what I will say, and Tibbs actually said it, is they keep stats in practice. So that was one of the reasons why they stayed with McBride, because he was hitting in practice and they was tracking all of that. And they just felt that at some point it was going to translate in a game. Right. Yeah. So I think it was the same thing with Grimes. Whatever he was doing in practice, he must have been killing them. I mean, just chopping them up for him to get in like that. But then it leads me to what's Obi doing or not doing in practice.
And the same thing with Cam.
And Cam.
I think with Cam,
we don't know what's going on.
Cam can be a rogue agent sometimes. You know what I mean? Cam would be a rogue agent sometime out there. But I'm gonna tell y'all no lie. That first game of the season, when we played Memphis, and I saw where Cam came out, I said, "Uh-oh, we got one." And
we found something.
It's like all that great value and I ain't talking about great value from Walmart. But all that value he built up, man, it just went out the window as soon as Grimes got healthy. like Tom was saying, man, I can't wait till Grimes get healthy so I can get you out of this lineup.
Especially defensively, though, Ron.
Yeah, because he was causing
different.
havoc.
There was no lackadaisical moment. Even though Grimes get beat, it's not based off effort, right? It's based off, oh, you might have made the wrong movement in this instance type stuff, right? But his effort, Cam, was just a little too lackadaisical. Not like I like Cam's game. I'm not gonna lie. I do like his game. Finesse player, could shoot, could drive, got smooth moves, but he's not like you know what I mean? And Grimes got that in him. He might not yell, but you can see it.
But defensively, Cam was able to guard 1 through 3 with no problem.
Long lengthwise, but not really like laterally.
Yeah. Ultimately, I just think it was a preference thing. He just like Grimes over Cam.
But you know, one thing I must say,
and that happens all over the league.
Yeah, that may be true.
But we all know something Cam used to do now. Cam used to break the defensive. Cam would gamble a lot. He would gamble a lot, and if you know anything about Tibbs don't like that gambling stuff.
Yeah,
no, he don't like.
He's always breaking for steals and breaking down the defense and leaving your teammates hanging.
Right.
What Tibbs' philosophy is he want to wear you down and let you take the long way with that shot clock for you to make a mistake instead of be gambling. Because even with Mitch, remember all them shot blocks Mitch used to get when we had Fizz deal?
Yeah.
Tibbs put a
2 fouls for every block. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now Mitch don't foul out of games like that, and
his blocks is down a little. They might be back up to where it is now.
But his impact on the game and manipulating people from scoring. See, you don't got to get a block to impact the play, right? You got to manipulate the person from scoring. Ultimately, that's the game. It's trying to stop them from doing certain things, and if you keep his fouls, that's why we watch it all the time. Dudes let dudes score because they know if they go a little too hard, they might call a phantom foul, is what I like to call them.
Right.
You don't even touch a dude, but you show effort and they call a foul. Right?
Right. It's like when they say Doc Hollywood only had 12 bodies, right? But Doc Holliday didn't have to have 100 bodies. You know what I'm saying? People weren't going to challenge Doc Holliday. You know what I'm saying? Doc Holliday only had 12 bodies. Only 12 men were courageous enough to even get in front of him. Everybody else saw how bad the other ones lost, and they didn't challenge him. He's like, nah, man, this ain't my fight right here, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with Mitch. Just because Mitch doesn't have a lot of shot blocks doesn't mean he has a high number of attempts.
Right. No,
you got to have the attempts to go with the conversions. So
you got to be a brave person to challenge him anyway. Either you're going to put your body into his body and force him to foul you, or you're going to get blocked because you go up with that weak stuff. Mitch is going to block you. So you know he's established that his first 4 years in the league. So
yeah, Mitch said he had 270 now. So you ain't gonna push Mitch around no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it ain't no heavy 270 neither.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell y'all this: if there's one thing this front office finally got right, man, we got a point guard. Hot dog, do we have a point guard?
Yeah.
Hot doggity dog.
Freezie, Smoking Nick, Queen, the chat. Brunson amazed me, man. I'm gonna tell you, I knew he had game, but I didn't think it was to this degree, man. And this is the thing that always gets me. We done seen a lot of players come through them MSG doors, man. That's good elsewhere. And when they get in that building, when that pressure cooker get on them jokers disappear, man, like Casper.
Right.
This dude here, man. Oh man, what's crazy is this dude challenged guys that's way bigger than him, and he still gets his shots off. You know, a lot of guys when they're small and they go at big players, you can see they're uncomfortable. Not with this dude.
Right.
Man, we got one. This the biggest Knicks signing, man, since Carmelo Anthony, man. This is the best one.
Okay. Okay. All right, hey y'all, I'm gonna get out of here, man, so I can get me some rest, man. It was fun rocking with y'all, man. I'm gonna try to get on in the morning and rock a little bit, man. Thank y'all again. I'm glad we got Josh Hart. I'm glad we make a move. Right, I'm glad we made a move.
Even though we gave up 7 players.
Why you pessimistic like that? Why you off the top?